down more on the left. People who at least say they hate Modi and his ilk, and who I perhaps would believe when they say it, unlike the centrists. You know, people who are genuinely for sort of socialist, secular India, you know, well past the horrible state of Indian politics today. A lot of you people like this. You often come down on the right side of things in geopolitics. For example, this group of people, they tend to be pro-Palestine, even though most of them are Hindus, because, you know, in that case, they can see through petty sectarianism. They don't give a shit that the Palestinians are Muslims, and they're supposedly supposed to hate Muslims just because they're Hindus. They can see who's the victim and the offender in that circumstance, and they can side with the right side. So I'm speaking specifically to those guys and no other Indians, because I'm not going to be able to get through to the other Indians. Give me a fucking break. But maybe these ones I can. So I am an Indian nationalist. I'm more of an Indian nationalist than you, actually. I think Pakistan shouldn't exist. I think Bangladesh shouldn't exist. I think it should all be India. Actually, let's go further. Let's get Nepal in there. Let's get Burma. Wait, does Bhutan border India? I'm going to find out right now in real time. If Bhutan borders India, I'm giving India to them as well. Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, no, it does. It does. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. India gets Bhutan as well. It gets Bangladesh. It gets Nepal. It gets Pakistan. Myanmar too, obviously. So I'm more of an Indian nationalist than all of you guys. Because for me, the partition of India was a total travesty. The Muslim League are horrible morons, in my opinion. They did everyone a horrible disservice by demanding it. And the creation of two states along the line of religion is the dumbest idea anyone has ever come up with. There should have been one big secular one, and yeah. But then I see a lot of Indian nationalists.
They're taking C. Domination. Capture the objective.
Did I oppose this on the basis that I oppose like religious nationalism?
Not C.
Ludicrous outcome. You know, I think everyone would be better off in one united secular state with equality.
Taking Alpha.
I don't think that you guys see things that way, honestly, given your reaction.
Taking A.
TACOM, give me a UAV.
Your Indian nationalism, when it comes
Losing
down
Bravo.
to it,
Zone Alpha captured.
nationalists. Right now,
Locking
you're
down.
Bravo lost.
walking in
Zone B secure.
like you're getting
CZ.
Pakistan in
Losing A.
20 seconds. Here
Lost Alpha. Bravo underway.
I'm down to it.
B secured.
I see you guys engaging in a lot of the same behaviors that Israelis engage in.
Hostile care package inbound.
You have completely
We're losing
discarded
Charlie.
by circumstances
Securing Alpha.
context.
Targets marked for LDBR.
Securing Zone A. Lost B.
Requesting LDBR fireman.
They're taking C.
Clear example of the ridiculous crime over
Hostile UAV established overhead.
Enemy spring mine.
All zones lost. Watch kilo incoming on your location.
In response to this unrest that this division has caused, the Indian side of Kashmir has been brutalized by their central government since at the very least the 80s. And Kashmir as a whole is majority Muslim. The Indian side of it is also majority Muslim. And, you know, it's not the same as Israel-Palestine, obviously, because this ultimately comes from petty sectarian grievances rather than settler colonialism, as in the case of Israel-Palestine. But the Indian government's response to this unrest has led to the situation of today. And the situation of today is in some ways quite similar to Israel's occupation of Palestine. The Indian government, the way that it administers Kashmir, resembles a military occupation, more so than like an equal partner in the country. There's also parallels to Israel-Palestine in how the Kashmiri independence movement started out being secular and over time became more and more Islamist, specifically because as the Indian government cracked down more and more, people began looking more towards the more combative groups, which were the Islamists. Same exact thing that happened in Palestine. You know, originally people were disillusioned with the PLO, and Hamas started gaining popularity because they fought back. And this situation has escalated greatly since 2019 when
Nothing makes me happier than sun in the sky after 8 p.m.
Hindu nationalist government of India revoked Kashmir's autonomous status and literally disbanded its government entirely. This is something that was only undone 6 or 7 months ago, and it was undone by India's Supreme Court against the will of the government. Though the autonomous status is still revoked, they at least got their own self-governance back. And this is a government that is
Overdrive.
You're dead.
Earn elimination medals to increase your combo score.
Imposing effective military rule in this province, disappearing people, imprisoning people for petty shit, Facebook video protests and stuff like that. It's obvious, and it's notable claimed by a group that was only formed in response to those events in is a relatively new one. It was formed as a response to what the government did to revoke Kashmir's autonomous status and completely abolish its government in 2019. So there is context to this that a lot of you seem to be forgetting in a nationalist fervor, and that there is context does not mean that I'm justifying it. But you can understand, I imagine, how 40 to 50 years of oppression in Kashmir, followed by a 5-year period of direct military rule by Hindu nationalist government that is genocidal against Muslims, I think you can understand how that will generate terrorism in response. I think it's pretty fucking obvious. And I think some people respectively. And I see Indians like attacking Hassan for like siding with Pakistan or whatever. To be clear, I don't find fucking anyone here. Both kind of fucking suck. The Indians, unfortunately, lately suck more. Pakistan is its own hotbed of problems. As I said at the beginning, like Pakistani nationalists, I don't think they exist. I think they exist. They just segregate. Sometimes it feels like some of the leftist Hindu Indians have these religious background or ethnic. I'm not sure if Hinduism can be considered like an ethno religion, but you know, covering the base area. They seem to have these similar sort of tendencies that you often see from like, you know, if I was Jewish and I saw a special connection to Israel, who gives a but there are a lot of Jews who are like Zionists and feel like an
The lead is on.
because they're Jews. So
Get out front!
Israel who's like a tangentially doesn't even practice their Jewish identity, and suddenly they rediscover this ethnic solidarity with October 7 victims. And I'm seeing that from some of you Indians. Honestly, it really seems a similar sort of thing to me, where
They've taken the lead.
This is being clouded by this sort of religious/perhaps ethnic solidarity in your heart that is coming out here because there was an attack on Hindus by Muslims. You know, the Israelis act like history started on October 7th. A lot of the left wing as well. I'm acting like history started on April 22nd now. And this is what I would expect from Hindu nationalism. I would expect them to be very critical of what they're doing.
Let's go!
So I think that you should think a bit about what's going on. Why is it that you can understand
Enemy UAV inbound.
but in this
Enemy
case,
UAV inbound.
you're having more trouble nationalism of Modi and its claims regarding Muslims suddenly thrown out in Pakistan and simply to how the liberal Zionists discarded their concern with Palestine.
We've taken the lead. Stay on task.
The Modi government are, your equivalent of Nazis. They are religious supremacists, they are terrorists,
You're falling behind, Crimson.
mass murder of thousands of people, and he's using the worst in his part. We should think a little bit about what we're doing here. I mean, I'm not you, I'm not part of the So these are questions Muslims. A lot of you, at least, support
Toss a Semtex!
see from the outside looking in, as someone who I said earlier is a real Indian nationalist. I want all of these places just be one country. We can be better off. Like ethnic country divisions are the worst fucking idea ever. Just look at the Balkans. It's not as bad as the Balkans, but it could be. So you should be careful here because, from my view, it was very easy for the Hindu nationalists and their centrists this sort of unhealthy type of nationalist further. Not that I'm against sort of positive nationalism when it's secular, truly secular. But in this case, the sort of nationalism you guys are espousing doesn't really seem like that to me. You know, I'm thinking like, I want Pakistan to be official. More so than, yes, we are number one, bomb the fuck out of those Muslims, which is what I'm seeing from you guys more. The latter is the bad type of nationalism. So I think in this case, there is no right side. I'm not going to say there's a right side. I mean, obviously the attack was justified, but it's an expected event, given what has been going on in Kashmir, particularly the last 5 years. Shit like this is bound to happen when you institute military rule against the majority of the population. And I think...
Reclaim the advantage, now hold it.
Both nations, Bangladesh, and as I said, Nepal, Myanmar, even half of China, all of that should be in both sides of Kashmir included, okay? Wherever they something that I think they clearly don't want to be in their majority, but, you know, check yourselves before you wreck yourselves. That is my mission. That is my message to you guys here. Brain cells as time goes by, you are precious. We can't afford to lose you. As the Hindu nationalists recruit more and more to their cause, there are less and less of you. We need you now more than ever. India is a massive country that is temporarily divided. I'm an optimist, okay?
Semtex, front!
They're right where we want them. Finish the job.
During this debate, like, every Jew in Arab country...
Taking fire!
Like, you make the claim that there was
Hostile
a massive
UAV established
uniform
overhead.
expulsion of all Jews
Hostile
that
counter UAV established above.
Anyway,
You made it looking interesting.
Oh, hell yeah! That's how it's done!
He asked ChatGPT, give me Zionist points to justify the This is who Nathan Klein is. However, I'm going to strokes of his argument. He's focused particularly on Iraq. He was like, oh, no, it's some explosions in effect. Obviously, there was explosions and there were also people that were just sort of forced out by racist laws. Nonetheless, even if every single Arab was actually expelled, let's think about that for a second. Would that justify the Nakba? Here's the thing, okay? The Nakba happens first. The Nakba happens first. What happened to the Jews in other countries in the Middle East was afterwards. So we have a bit of an issue there, right? The argument this was some sort of tit for tat thing that with one cancelling out the other doesn't really make much sense, given that the thing that you're trying to defend, the foundation of Israel, is what instigated it in the first place. No Nakba, no unilateral Israeli declaration of independence, none of that stuff would have happened in response. That's the first thing. The second thing, very simple here, is Palestine is not Iraq. Palestine is not these other countries that they always invoke. Palestine is a different fucking place. Did you know that? Ethan Klein's entire argument, I will play a clip where he claimed that basically he said the fucking Arabs, he called them. Could you fucking imagine his head exploding if someone said the fucking Jews? He said the fucking Arabs, according to him, forced the Jews to become Zionists. Basically, what he's saying is the Israeli colonization of Palestine, which began fucking 50, 60 years earlier, was retroactively justified by expulsions in other Middle Eastern countries.
It's not about what was allowed or not. The Arabs created 1 million Zionists. because they're anti-Semitic.
The Arabs are anti-Semitic.
After the War of 1948 and fucking...
The War of 1948. You notice how he never calls it the fucking Nakba? It's always a war. There was no fucking war. It was literally a fucking expulsion, a pre-planned massacre and expulsion.
100,000 were forced to become Zionists, not by choice, but because they were forced out. The vast majority went to fucking Arabs.
The fucking Arabs, he says. There it is. Okay, so let's talk about this narrative, as I was just saying. So, according to him, the fucking Arabs forced them to become Zionists. Okay, let's ask a simple question here. I'm going to pretend, for the sake of argument, even though it's untrue, that every single Jew who left any Middle Eastern country during this time was forced out by anti-Semitic fucking Arabs, as Ethan Klein said. Okay? Let's pretend that's true. Does that then justify them moving to Palestine, into a Palestinian house, murdering Palestinians, expelling them from their land, genociding them? Does it? We can answer this question very simply with a thought experiment. Let's imagine what Ethan Klein would think if the Palestinians tomorrow broke out of the prisons that Israel kills them in, massacred the Israelis, forced the survivors into the sea or into a neighboring country or whatever, and moved back into their houses. Would Ethan Klein think that was justified? Now, this is not the same situation, by the way, because Palestine is not Iraq, Palestine is not Morocco, Palestine is not Yemen or any of these other countries that Ethan Klein is trying to say expelled every Jew ever. This is much more direct. This would be the Palestinians directly retaliating against their oppressors, not going to colonize a totally unrelated people in response to them being oppressed. So this would be way more justified than that. But does Ethan think that's okay? Would Ethan be for that? He thinks the Nakba is justified because Jews were expelled from other countries and thus they have some sort of divine right as a result of that to then go and do way worse than what was done to them to Palestinians. That's his logic here. Does that make any sense to you? It doesn't make any sense to me. And it doesn't make any sense at all because he clearly does not think that if Palestinians do it would be okay, given his reaction to Palestinian retaliatory violence, given his reaction to basically anything that anyone does for Palestinians or that Palestinians do. In fact, Ethan Klein thinks that it would be reverse genocide if Palestinians actually broke out. We've all seen the clip of him saying that. He said that there can't be one state because the evil genocidal Palestinians could never be trusted to live alongside the Israelis. So clearly, he's very much not for what I said there. So we see a clear double standard here. And to be clear, these situations are not comparable because obviously Palestinians expelling the people who stole their own homes would be a whole lot more justified than Jews moving to a entirely different country and expelling the people who live there and taking their houses for themselves because they were expelled from a different country. And that shows the crux of this argument. This is a rhetorical trick. This is not a real argument. That's what you guys have to get here. This narrative of, oh, but there was a Jewish expulsion. They don't care about this. They don't care about it at all. If they cared about it, they would probably bring up the fact that in 1973, almost every single country that had expelled Jews or that had oppressed Jews offered complete return and full restitution of all assets to any Jew who came back. 1973, public and open invitations were duly issued by the governments of Morocco, Yemen, Libya, Sudan, and Iraq, which Ethan keeps fucking harping on, and Egypt for Arab Jews to return home, especially in light of the institutionalized Ashkenazi race discrimination to which they had been subjected to in Israel. Neither Israel nor Arab Jews needed its cause. So, there was a wrong done to Jews in the Arab world, in the Middle East. There were attempts to right this wrong around 20 years ago.
Alpha secure.
Made to right this wrong. This kind of screws up the narrative.
Getting captured! Hold him back! I'll get to the end of you! Take your flight!
Bravo is on. We're winning. Keep it up.
For them to minimize the Nakba. They don't give a shit. They're living lives in Palestinian houses. They don't want to go back to their grandma's house in Iraq. They don't give a shit. They have someone else's house.
Losing B.
Sniper! Find cover! We're getting captured!
All locations secured. Hold your position.
We were expelled too. Never mind the fact that you didn't expel us and we expelled you, so it's not exactly the same thing, and it wouldn't justify it anyway.
We're
but,
losing Charlie.
Somehow justifies it. It was a great article that relatively niche.
I will shut you!
We lost Charlie.
Yellow constantly this was only as a tit-for-tat thing to try and delegitimize the Palestinian claim by saying, well, it happened to us, it's okay that we did it to you. This organization was propped up by support from the Israeli government for the purpose of forming this narrative of tit-for-tat expulsions. Basically, what happened is in the 1970s, the PLO started talking more about the right of return, and this was a the World Organization of Jews from Arab countries. And this organization, while it was nominally independent, it relied a ton on funding from the Israeli government. It basically throughout its existence, the organization was supported by the foreign ministry.
Get it, Captain! Hold them back!
From this article, despite the support of Wojak, the Israeli government was less than
Locking down Charlie.
the representatives of the Association of Jewish Immigrants from Arab countries. Despite these minor misgivings, it was generally accepted by Wojak that the established to assist the state of Israel and the foreign ministry and the national in the past of Jews from Arab countries.
Incoming Semtex!
That this was instrumental in the political arena in which Israel was active. And this is the thesis. This is where this
Securing Charlie.
argument comes from. Literally, this organization. These are the primary theses that are going to spread to offset the free claims of the Palestinian national.
Enemy deleted!
Locking down Charlie.
Expel the Jews. Those cancel each other out. And then they'll go, okay, we took your property.
Bravo lost.
Arab countries, they took
Toss a Semtex! Blast trap!
Locking down Bravo.
legitimate. That's the entire
Flying gas
point.
box!
So what happened
Get it,
Locked
Captain! Hold
down.
them back! Flying trophy!
Israeli state organization that was not founded with
Securing C. We're losing Alpha. Securing Charlie.
So what the Israeli government made this organization
Lost A.
specifically
I'm on the
active
objective.
Locking down Charlie.
assets
Losing Bravo.
CSMO.
prohibit
Zone
anyone
Charlie
from
locked down.
negotiating on an individual basis. However, it says here, any possibility of individual claims for compensation and the use of the assets of
We lost B.
Get it, Captain! Hold them back!
negotiations with Palestine. Compensation for the property of Jews from Arab countries. It did not mean the monetary compensation of Jews from Arab countries themselves. It was advancing rather to use them to counterbalance refugees against Israel. In the words of the attorney of the organization, we believe that the day will come where the sides will sit down to discuss the this place in a practical, decisive manner. This as a sort of counterbalance that will be there when the time comes to be. This is really
They're taking
this
C.
talking point. It was carefully crafted
Hostile
by the
shooter!
Israeli state in the 1970s. This is where Ethan Klein gets it from. Obviously, he doesn't know where he gets it from, but this is where it comes from. Because previously, how incredibly disingenuous this organization
Secured.
Get out! Frag!
We're losing Charlie.
individually. So Ethan Klein
Securing Alpha.
and
Bravo lost. They're taking C.
Get back here!
All zones.
Get it, Captain! Hold them
Securing
back!
Charlie.
live outside of the state of Israel. Some of them came to Israel and then left.
Beginning capture.
Securing B.
Also have rights, and the state of Israel had a control position. So basically, accepting that.
Securing
One
C.
down here! Ceasefire! Friendly target! Flashbang out!
Control of C.
legitimize the Nakba and delegitimize the Palestinian right of return, the organization was basically destroyed by these.
Take it still! Move! Getting captured! Hold it back!
The supposed factual basis of it is false. Even if the factual basis was true, it would not justify it.
Requesting recon above!
Believe that.
UAV in the turn. We have eyes on.
Logic that would justify the Palestinians
Securing Zone A.
Israelis and taking their home. No one in Israel cares about this. Okay, no one genuinely cares about this. None of them want that
UAV
gun
fuel checks
contrast. None of
50%.
them want to go and live in other Middle East.
Lock down A.
So the Palestinians do want that land and home.
Requesting recon above!
In their own land.
Down Bravo.
Black trap!
It's pure diversion.
Losing A.
It's simply
We're flying
an
on
attempt
fumes.
to justify
UAV returning to base.
nothing more, nothing less. And Ethan Klein really
We're losing Charlie.
could not be a better example of it.
Lost Alpha.
Reason to just randomly start talking about
Idle shot charge! Lock it
Taking
down here!
Bravo underway.
Idle shot charge!
genocide of Israel, the genocide, whatever it may be. There's simply no reason to start talking about that otherwise.
They're
And
taking
talking
C.
about fucking trauma, that was a fucking great moment, wasn't it? Let's check that out. We were trauma numerous times.
Whether it is comparable to say that
I'm not defending the Nakba.
separate countries in
Bad guy first!
To acknowledge the trauma of
here.
both.
This guy is just like fucking...
Get a UAV on grid.
Standpoint is just
Is the reason why you are a radical fucking
Taking Alpha.
both trauma, both groups. There's two things that need to be true. Self-determination.
Hey!
Losing
This
Charlie.
was not in my contract.
Zone A secure. Losing Alpha.
right. So you need to do genocide against me
Lost C.
forever.
All zones lost.
You have to acknowledge the trauma. You have to treat them as basically like equally aggrieved, and also like what we genocide.
Hostile scout pulse in your AO. Enemy scout pulse.
Getting captured! Hold them back!
That these people move their teams and stole their country.
Alpha secure.
UAV established overhead.
Securing B. Taking C. Enemy care package above.
UAV mission timeline 50% expended.
We lost all zones. Taking A. All zones are being locked down.
Objective capture underway.
Locking down Charlie.
Mission timeline expired. UAV RTB.
Invoke
Zone A secure.
idea of trauma because of something that happened.
Back is smoked! Move! Getting
Taking
captured!
Bravo
Hold
underway.
them back!
You're supposed to be the CIA's best. Act like it.
Idle shot
Losing
charge!
A.
Say
Taking B. All zones lost. Hostile scout pulse in your AO. Enemy Hellstorm launch detected.
why would they need security? Because the Palestinians
Damn it, Crimson, that's not good enough.
Moving evac plane! Situation full
get their land back. This is like saying that the fucking Nazi settlers in Palestine need security. They need secure borders. You know, the fucking Jewish partisans. It's insane argument to make. Fuck you and vote in genocide.
That's 5 kills.
The very issue here is a fucking Jewish supremacist, a religious Jewish supremacist state, oppressing Palestinians on the basis of them not being of the Jewish ethnic group, the Jewish racial group, the Jewish religious group. That's the problem. You can't fucking hand-wave that as claiming some sort of innate generational trauma, and then going on to say, oh, you're not acknowledging the trauma of both sides. Both sides. There's no both sides here. One side is the literal fucking modern Nazi. That's all. Like, the solution to the fucking Israeli racial supremacist state genociding Palestinians is for us to acknowledge the humanity of the fucking Israelis? That's your argument? Oh my God. If only we acknowledged the humanity of the Germans, everything would have been fine. The problem here is you're not acknowledging.
Ethan Klein went on his show yesterday.
And we are back.
His members only show you.
Denims, if you ever see my stream, if you ever need organs, let me know. I'll get you organs.
I'll tell you.
I don't give a fuck. I'll get you organs. You need a liver, you need a kidney? I got you. That's so weird.
She's suing me for defamation.
No, I announced I will sue you, but I demand for retraction.
For saying that I think.
Wait, there is a better version of this. Hold up. What, did I not save it? Maybe it is in my bookmarks.
Denims is streaming. Oh.
Whoa. Wait. Maybe it's on my other account. I guess I don't have it. I don't know where I put it. Well, whatever. We'll watch this version.
That I hold her personally. I personally, in my opinion, hold her responsible for the.
I love the, in my opinion, it's like the bulletproof vest that is, in my opinion, as if that fixes everything else.
Superstition. For saying that I think that I hold her personally. I personally, in my opinion, hold her responsible for the CPS thing, which is obvious based on the call. So she thought it would be wise to sue me, the victim, of her fucking insane incompetence.
He literally called himself a victim. The biggest victim. He should be like, I am the biggest victim on the planet, and no one should be able to say, do, or even think of anything bad about me because I am the victim. For somehow you're the victim, a victim with millions of dollars who is adored by a bunch of mindless fucking assholes. Such a victim, bro. Fuck you. Yeah, you can't even spell victim. You cunt. And I'm talking to Ethan. Ethan's a cunt. I would never call a woman a cunt. I would never call a woman a bitch. I would call Ethan Klein a bitchy cunt.
Stupid fucking dumbass. What an.
He wants to say it so bad.
She's the dumbest person alive. I actually genuinely think, well, I don't know. iDubbbz gives her a run for her money. I mean, I want to destroy her. I'm going to ruin her life, probably.
I don't. We'll keep going.
And the good thing about that is that she, just remember who shot the first shot.
It definitely wasn't you getting 4 Arab streamers, 5 MENA streamers, banned off the platform for a month over perceived anti-Semitism that didn't exist, And I do implore anyone who has the energy and time and desire to do it, like grab random people off the street and tell them, what do you think of when you think of Sabra? And tell me how many of them say hummus, and tell me how many of them say Jew from Israel. I would love to know what that number looks like. And not only that, but he caused a mini adpocalypse on Twitch, costing a variety of streamers across the board potentially tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Who fired the first shot?
She's suing the victim of her crime. So
We gotta go back for that.
about that is that she just remember who shot the first shot. She's suing the victim of her crime.
Accusing me of committing a crime, the exact thing that I am demanding you retract.
So, like, when I say I'm going to ruin her life, obviously I just want to put her in financial ruin.
That looks really good. That looks really good. I want to show you guys the full version of this, because this is the edited version, or like the shortened version, but...
Denims announces she's...
Here it is. It's this one. Yes. This was the version I wanted to show you.
Denims announces she's suing me for defamation, for saying that I think that I hold her personally. I personally, in my opinion, hold her responsible for the CPS thing, which is obvious based on the call.
You can't say a statement of fact and then follow it by, in my opinion, and then follow it by, which should be obvious based on the call. Like, that's it. The in my opinion doesn't magically cancel out everything else.
So she thought it would be wise to sue me, the victim, of her fucking insane incompetence.
I have to say, for the community that makes fun of me laughing at other people and accuses me of like fake laughing, this is pretty peak.
Which is obvious based on the call. So she thought it would be wise to sue me, the victim, of her
most nervous, most fake laughter I've ever seen in my life.
Fucking insane incompetence.
Call CPS.
What the fuck? So I don't know. Did I claim they did? You're dodging, bro. You are absolutely dodging. You
Ethan.
claim your community has nothing to do with the harassment, yet you were browsing H3 Snark. Now, let me ask you this, Hassan. How many times have I browsed the Destiny subreddit on my show?
Blamed virtually everyone for calling CPS. Answer my question. So you don't know who called CPS, and yet for the past couple of months, you've been like, it's whoever I don't like that is called CPS. And now you're claiming that my community is responsible for it.
I think it's the tone. No, bro, what is wrong with you? Did I say your community called CPS? The harassment campaign is a much more broad.
Literally, you did, you fucking liar. EthanKleinLie.com, the most truly named website of all time. Denims, sue his ass.
Here's the full version. There we go. I was looking for
I'll tell you, and then I'll move right on. Everybody is probably expecting me to talk about this. Denims announces she's...
Sorry to have to make you guys watch this brutal clip over and over again. I just was looking for the full version.
She's suing me for defamation, for saying that I think that I hold her personally. I personally, in my opinion, hold her responsible for the CPS thing, which is obvious based on the call. So she thought it would be wise to sue me, the victim, of her fucking insane incompetence. But don't worry, guys. She continues to be the smartest and best at this. And so this never stops giving. Hold on, let me see what she said.
No, save it.
Oh, fuck.
We're not talking about this today.
Oh, it's just this. She said something. What did she say? Oh, yeah. She titled her stream, I guess, a parody of what I said to Noah Samson. She says, Ethan retracted the lawyer up.
Ethan is like so much better, like just infinitely better, like excellent performance as a victim. He can perform victim better than anything, better than comedian. Because I haven't heard this motherfucker say something funny since October 7th. Everything he said after that has been, he lost, it wasn't just a bunch of fucking people at a concert who died that day. It was, I think Ethan's humor was also a casualty and died brutally at the hands of Hamas on October 7th. And that might be the biggest tragedy, maybe according to Ethan. I mean, if I was Ethan, I would think that that would be the biggest tragedy. I'd be like, you mass raped my sense of humor, Hamas, and everyone should condemn that.
many characters Twitch or like a YouTube thumbnail allows. I wanted to make the title Ethan Klein retract or find a lawyer who can do shit. But that was so wordy and it had so many letters in it and people weren't going to see the whole title. So I reserved that for Twitter. Yes, I'm aware that that is not an accurate term. Obviously, you have a lawyer. He's CC'd in the fucking email, you fucking moron. Of course, we all know about your lawyer. This is what I wanted to make the title, which I made it on Twitter. Retractor, you may want to replace your lawyer who, quote, can't do shit. That's what I wanted to make the title. Yes, this doesn't really fit in a fucking Twitch title, okay? First, it was someone close to the family, and then he inferred it was Idubbbz and Anissa, and then Trisha Paytas, and then H3 Snark, and then you, and now Hassan, who called CPS. This is like a I'm Spartacus. No, I'm Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus. Denim, I would be not just Spartacus, I would be anyone for you. FYI.
As you are as well, clearly. Imagine sending, I'm not Disney, obviously, but imagine sending a warning to Disney, lawyer up. You'll expect to hear from me. Now, obviously, I'm not Disney, but trust me, I'm lawyered up. Stupid fucking dumbass.
Your lawyer is fucking fleecing your ass, you fucking dipshit.
Calling me the dumbest person alive after you just went on air and then agreed with everything I'm asking you to retract.
Neck and neck. Did she realize how much this is going to cost?
She's.
I love this. This is definitely going to get
fundraising.
Hostile marksman in our AO. Throw and frag.
Overdrive. Pacify the AO, kill team.
Display of
the lead is ours.
Watch this.
I'm lawyered up. She's gonna be a fucking dumbass. I don't give her money.
Neck and neck. Did she realize how much this is going to cost?
She's crowdfunding.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, which is great.
Dude, it's crazy how like a lot of people.
Sniper, find cover.
There's a lot of
Vengeance is mine.
Can't get rid of in your brain. It takes a long time to get rid of these biases, and everybody has these. You grow into society. It's just like how it works.
We're falling behind.
Move.
If you watch some of the stuff that Trisha Paytas says, she's putting on an act
Hostiles replacing me.
on the planet, but she
Stay on task.
will discount her immediately.
They've taken the lead.
And so she gets away
Big what, blonde woman?
with shitty things because she just doesn't.
We've claimed the advantage. Now hold it.
So much being outdone in that way.
Eyes on it.
We're winning. Keep it that way.
Incredible, like. It doesn't have to be explicit. Or assault women. It can be smaller things like downplaying intelligence of women, downplaying like long-term planning of women, etc. It's so blatant. But honestly, it's a good thing because it's better to have people. They're accusing me of, and like, I hope you see the light, and I hope you realize you're projecting your bully onto me. And I know you're
Hostile decoy! Get back here!
In school who got straight A's. Not only do I have business law classes,
Learn your fucking lesson yet?
not only am I just the complete opposite of your claim.
Take it still!
Don't you have friends who don't have degrees?
Hostile impact!
That's so, like, mean. To those men.
TACOM, I need eyes overhead.
I didn't see the light for it. It's such a pathetic. Degrees are just a means to an end in late-stage capitalism. Day degrees, I feel like a lot of them are sit in a room, you can go home and you can study. That's it. Sitting down and reading a fucking textbook and showing up to the meeting. Sit down, do your work, go home, respond to whatever it's needed to respond to, and then come.
TACOM, deploy napalm strike.
Hostile shooter!
Task LGBR against my target. We're about to break. Give them a chance.
X3 girly, sorry, X3 girly.
Molotov!
I've ever liked to show. I just get sad seeing like the girls.
Smoke! Move, move!
Bad. It's just, I feel bad toward them.
Stand down, Crimson. We have what we came for.
Oh, hell yeah! That's how it's done!
Again, I'm too brain rotted. I've been on the internet for too fucking long. And unfortunately, my whole life I've had a glass half full, like, worldview. And so when I like feeling bad, it goes I give off that kind of vibe. Because, like, dude, I remember being a kid and, like, pre-2008 recession, like, I didn't have any name brand stuff, and I was so embarrassed because, like, I didn't have Uggs, I didn't have Juicy Couture, I didn't have. I remember my first pair of Converse, which I hated, by the way. What a terrible pair of shoes. And like, I remember, you know, my mom would like rush us into the Goodwill and make sure nobody saw because I couldn't get Aeropostale. We couldn't afford that shit. And so I remember like the emotion of like, I remember not understanding and then understanding and having the loss of innocence of, oh, this is where poor people go and it's embarrassing. Oh, people shouldn't see us going in here. Okay. And like the only reason I was able to go to college is because I had good enough grades that I could go to college and I was poor enough to be able to get grants. And I got good enough grades that I could get scholarships for school. And when I started doing poorly in school, because I eventually took a year off before I went back and finished my degree, I lost my good grade scholarships. So I had to work and go to school at the same time to pay for my school because my parents weren't going to pay for it. They were going to kill me if they knew that like I dropped below A's and B's. So like I couldn't tell them. So I just started like picking up work because I was like, okay, well, maybe I can just pay for it with this, which exacerbated the issue because working and going to school is not a good combination because you just don't make time to study. So when people criticize me in this way, it's like, wait, you think I give off like rich girl vibes? This is like something I've always kind of been self-conscious about, that I like give off like, you know, poor person. But you think I live like a sheltered life? That's kind of nice. Oh, thanks. Thanks. Damn, you had to cover up your C's? That sounds awful. It's just the life of an immigrant kid. Anyone in here who's a kid of an immigrant, you know what it was like, okay? So, continuing, shall we?
You're up. You'll expect to hear from me. Now, obviously, I'm not Disney, but trust me, I'm wired up. Stupid fucking dumbass. She's the dumbest person alive. I actually genuinely think, well, I don't know. iDubbbz gives her a run for her money.
Does she realize how much this is going to cost?
She's crowdfunding.
By the way, I'm so dumb, but he refuses to have a conversation with me.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, which is great. I think people should. Does she know that if she loses, that she has to pay my attorney's fees?
This has been the best argument. Dude, we all saw that you lost your anti-slap motion against Kavanaugh, and he is suing you for defamation because you did exactly what you're doing to me, what you did to him. And you had to pay his legal fees. Anti-SLAPP is basically just a way to make sure that frivolous lawsuits aren't being filed by rich people who have too much money. And if you lose, well, in his case, he's been on the receiving end of these defamation suits. So in his case, he filed the anti-SLAPP motion and the appeal, and he lost. So he had to pay Kavanaugh's legal fees for that entire endeavor, which was potentially tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. And now he's trying to like threaten me with the same thing that he just lost last month. Like, this is so peak, just, I'm trying to scare you. Come on, get scared. Boo, boo. And it's like, what? Not to mention the fact that, like, I don't know that the anti-SLAPP motion would even really make a lot of sense here because I'm the smaller party. And a lot of people keep claiming or pretending like it's a frivolous suit, and that's why it would get thrown out. But then what is your suit against Noah Samson? Your suit against Noah Samson, which, by the way, so much of that video was a matter of opinion and providing things with context that I don't even know. And it's also such a convoluted fucking, like, Noah actually, I think, I'm not a lawyer, but I think Noah actually, out of anyone else, has an okay chance at an anti-SLAPP motion for that case, because it's so obviously someone with more money trying to intimidate someone with less money on such a fucking complicated issue. But anyways, yeah.
Did anyone tell her that?
I think most people know that that's how it works.
I don't know if she knows that.
You don't think so?
Yeah, I don't know that
I
she
don't
knows
think
that,
so.
especially on defamation, because she, I don't know that she knows that. I guess don't tell her. Don't tell her either. I mean, I want to destroy her. I'm going to ruin her life, probably. And the good thing about that is that she, just remember who shot the first shot.
Who shot?
On this topic, who shot the first shot? I saw an amazing TikTok on my Twitter feed, because I don't go to TikTok, about who shot the first shot. This is like the same exact narrative that people who are super pro-Israel use about their actions, about Israel's actions in Gaza. Remember who shot the first shot, and then they always try and reference October 7th, or then they try and reference anti-Semitism by Arab people as a justification for a genocide in Palestine. And this guy, Rathbone, he makes really, really good videos. Every time I've seen him on my feed, it's been a really good video. But he made a really good retort to Epstein's comments on who fired the first shot. This is a really good one. I feel like these two, they're employing the same strategy, which is why I think it's so... Dude, I love, like, the average H3 fan is incapable of being normal. Like, look at the average H3 fan. Like, literally seek mental help. Genuinely seek mental help. Okay.
The war in 47. Who fired the first shots? It was Palestinians. They would never admit that.
In 43, Warsaw, who fired the first shot? It was the Jews. They'll never admit it. In 1831, Nat Turner Rebellion, who fired the first shot? It was the blacks. They'll never admit it. In the Galactic Civil War, who fired the first shot at the Death Star? That would be the Rebel Alliance. The Jedi will never admit this. I have a better question for Zionists, which they never seem to be able to answer, which is, if you really believe that this was a war that started in 1947 and Israel and the Zionists were just defending themselves, then why do we have the leader of the Zionist movement and the founder of Israel, its first prime minister, David Ben-Gurion, remarking in the late 30s, let us not ignore the truth among ourselves politically. We are the aggressors and they defend themselves. They meaning the Palestinians. The country is theirs because they inhabit it, whereas we want to come here and settle down, and in their view, we want to take away from them their country. How is it that the founder of Israel doesn't agree with you? Your comment, please. Oh, you don't have one. Weird. Why did the founder of Israel remark that if I were an Arab leader, I would never sign an agreement with Israel? It is normal. We have taken their country. We have come and we have stolen their country. Why would they accept that? Why do you, as a Zionist, not accept the words of the leader of Zionism and the founder of the State of Israel? Here's another question that Zionists can never seem to answer. Why do they never acknowledge the many massacres committed by Zionist paramilitary forces in the interwar period of 1917 to 1938, which was a full decade before Israel was even created? Why do you not consider those as first shots? Even Google AI has more objectivity than you. They acknowledge that the Zionist paramilitary organization Haganah's objectives included supporting illegal Jewish immigration. Why are you so neglectful?
This is like such a good video. I mean, again, Rathbone, every time I see him on my feed, he does a really, really great job. If you want to watch the whole thing, please watch it. The TLDR is just every single time Just it's such an insane strategy to employ the remember who fired the first shot as a way to justify whatever behavior you're going to engage in. And the worst part is half the time they're not even right. Like Ethan Klein in this context is saying, remember who fired the first shot after he got me and 4 other Menace streamers banned for 30 days for his imagined anti-Semitism that didn't exist, and then targeted advertisers so hard he caused a mini adpocalypse on Twitch, causing thousands of streamers to see dips in their ad revenue. Remember who fired the first shot. In terms of taking actual actions, in terms of not speech, but actions that have consequences, that have financial ramifications, yeah. But anyways, let's get back to it, shall we? Wait, no. You got banned for making an anti-Semitic tier list, and Twitch made the decision, not Ethan, so why does that matter? First of all, he took credit for it, you shit for brains. There's literally a clip of him saying, yeah, I got Frogan banned. Guess who else got banned when Frogan got banned? The rest of us that were on the panel. And it wasn't Twitch's decision to make that, it wasn't Twitch that made that decision. It was because the ADL got involved, which they literally have a tweet on their Twitter, on their x.com, that says, we have spoken to Twitch. We're glad they banned streamer Frogan, as well as the rest of us. Okay? Third, there was literally an active campaign to send thousands of emails to advertisers. And that is the reason we got banned. The reason we got banned was not for an anti-Semitic tier list, you shit for brains. It was because advertisers were afraid of the platform because they were getting thousands of emails. Doesn't matter if he takes credit for it. Twitch pulls the lever, not Ethan. Okay, so like if I made a massive campaign to get you fired from your job and I was sending your boss thousands of emails and I told my community to send your boss thousands of emails calling you an anti-Semitic piece of shit, and then you got banned, or sorry, you got fired. No severance, no leave. That's not my fault, right? That's your boss. Blame your boss. Yeah, correct. So by this logic, no one called CPS. CPS made their decision on their own, and it doesn't matter how many thousands of people called CPS. CPS was the one who made the decision on their own. Personally, I think it's crazy that you're biting these bullets instead of just accepting that these are bad arguments that you're making. But hey, man, if you want to be consistently stupid on these positions, that's fine with me, I guess. Sure. Whatever floats your boat, man. Whatever tickles your pickle.
Got the first shot.
She sued me. She's suing me.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
After she's suing the victim of her crime.
The victim of her crime.
Strategy.
Who the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? So, like, when I say I'm going to ruin her life, obviously, I just want to put her in financial ruin.
Understandable.
That's all I mean by it.
That doesn't sound significantly.
That sounds better.
Well, anyway, it's what I want to do.
Okay. Well, anyway.
But just
more on that tomorrow.
Just remember before you start clutching your pearls on Twitter. Oh, hold on, Nate, hit me with They're gonna clip this part. We should have done it already. Fuck.
Let's do it.
They'll crop that out. I need a sign.
Wait, what?
They cropped out.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I was printing one. Oh,
there you go.
How about this? Yeah, we're gonna do about this, huh?
Masterful comedian.
I think.
I mean that's still too much.
It's extra posture. No, I think just hide your face.
Just hide your face behind.
Yeah.
A true jokesmith, which is what I prefer to refer to Ethan Klein as. A true jokesmithery. Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah.
But then,
there you go. With just the eyes.
But then,
like sunglasses, like the Geordie LaFleur.
Can you make it like opaque so like it looks like Geordie LaFleur goggles?
Yeah.
No, you can't. Okay. Oh, here. This is what I need. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is exactly what I need.
This joke better be worth it.
This is like the best meme format I have seen. He keeps trying to pretend like the Hassan meme format is good. Oh my God. You now are a really funny person when you need a banner to explain that something's a joke.
#DNML.
I tried to switch to political commentary, but I'm too stupid to understand nuance. Ethan Klein, 2025. Oh, dude. This is the meme format. This is it. Please, run with this, have fun. Okay, what was the joke? He hasn't said the joke yet. Let's hear what the joke is.
Good man.
Yeah, a lot of
It's just a disclaimer, and the Tourette's one is good that just have there on the bottom. It is good to always have that up, frankly. I want to financially ruin her, but just remember, guys, she came at me. My harasser came at me.
Is which part of this is a joke? So are you saying I didn't fire the first shot? You fired it? I don't. Surely this will hold up in court.
Me.
Is this a joke?
I don't know.
The joke doesn't fit.
He doesn't even know.
I don't really understand why you're holding that sign.
I want to ruin her life.
No, it's coming. It's coming.
When I said, but I didn't have it up already. I said, I want to ruin her life.
You did it in all the wrong order.
Yeah, I know. I'm still getting used to the disclosures.
We'll keep that around the desk. You know, keep it close at hand.
Yeah. So we all look forward to that, don't we?
The Ethan has Tourette's banner is actually disgusting. Ethan has said he doesn't have coprolalia, vocal tics, so it's just plain ableism.
I don't. Denim's, he has to do this because of you. You killed comedy. I guess I killed comedy. I guess I was the one that did it.
Elon Musk killed comedy, ironically enough.
Oh, man. Okay, and then I do want to, like, really highlight the difference that people have had about Ethan Klein suing Noah Sampson for something that actually would be very difficult to litigate. I mean, when I spoke to Noah about his lawsuit, I think it's really honorable that he wants to fight Ethan Klein on this legally. And he's said that he wants to fight it because it's not fair that pro-Palestinian voices get so frequently silenced by Ethan Klein. And that's the reason that he wants to. But I told him, I don't think that they can use for retracting. Because you can be in the right and you can win legally, or you can have the winning side legally. But Ethan is doing this, and he's doing it the way that he's doing it because it forces you to litigate Palestinian conflict in a court of law, which is unbelievably complicated because there's so much misinfo. And so you're going to have a really rough time, and you're going to have to put a lot of money in, even though you have the winning side. It's so bizarre to me that so many H3 fans can see that lawsuit and be like, Noah Sampson, you're so fucked. He issued this letter to you. You're so fucked. And then and for an issue that's really complicated, that again would take a lot of time and effort and hundreds of thousands of dollars for lawyers to litigate if it doesn't get stricken down by slap laws. But this is way more cut and dry. And the thing that I don't think people read the document is because I saw any number of people being like, he's literally never done this ever. He never accused you. It's like, dude, the legal document you publish numerous false statements on your YouTube channels, H3 Productions, stating either that Denims herself filed the preceding CPS report about you, resulting in the improvidence of his visit to your home, or that Denims caused others to do so. And then it lists off examples. I saw people being like, what are these paraphrases? Do you know what quotes are? If something's in quotes, it's a quote of something you said. These are all direct quotes of what do you think? And they're like in denial. They're like, Ethan never said any of this stuff. What? I'm not. These aren't even paraphrased. I don't. Anyways, that was something else. Okay. Anyways, I want to talk about the Twitter stuff. All right. I want to talk about the Twitter stuff. So I made a tweet. If it goes to Commissioner Mark Bankston, the lawyer that went after Alex Jones. No, the strategy is to get. I shouldn't say anything. But which I'm gonna be honest, I know Twitter nukes things that have links in them. So I'm surprised that this has gotten any traction at all. It's really kind of cool and like awe-inspiring. Well, Lolo, I think, worked primarily as like a public defendant. So I don't know that he has a lot of history with defamation suits. So, and that's like, this is the problem with law. This is the biggest problem with law. This is the reason why every single law don't go into law. Even if you become a really good lawyer, it just means that you're a really good lawyer in this one category. And if you're not experienced in all these other categories of law, you have to be specialized. And if you're not in that specific specialization, you're kind of not fucked, but it's difficult. It's like asking a dentist to do heart surgery. Precisely. You were in law school? No, I was in business school, and they force you to take law classes when you're in business school. But I liked that, so I took more law classes because law classes are fun. The other problem too with every single person that I had that was a lawyer, they said being a lawyer is so boring. It's like 90% of filing paperwork. And you think it's gonna be fun, you think it's gonna be amazing, and it's actually boring. Like, damn, real? Shit. Okay, got it. Won't do that. Now, I wasn't expecting this to get that much traction, which is kind of cool that it's gotten so much traction, but it's also gotten a lot of insane people in my mentions, like the quartering. And I follow the quartering because he's so funny to make fun of. And a while back, I got super jump scared. I don't have the tweet on hand, but he followed me because he didn't like Ethan Klein. And then there's a tweet out there where he tweeted and said like, If you're not on Ethan Klein's side, I'm on your side. And he endorsed me, and it almost made me gag a little. And then he still followed. But anyways, neither here nor there. Let's go through some of the replies, because they're really funny. All right. Why are your eyes and mouth like that? This is the worst attempt at an insult that I've seen, I think, so far. This is probably one of the worst. Try again later. I don't know. Anyways, Porter responded, I can't believe you're this much of a dumb twat. 100% guarantee this lawsuit isn't going anywhere, and this is just a greasy money grab by a greasy person.
Stupid sexy denims.
Guys, can I respond and make a bet? Don't even give him attention. Is it really attention? Is it really attention? Don't do it. He'll donate to the racist lady. Okay, he might actually donate to the racist lady. He might donate to the racist lady. Is that a charity? Be careful or you'll end up his next Brie Larson. You say that like it's a bad thing. He won't get the joke. You guys might be right. He might be right. How will he concretely define that, Denims? Oh, I think we would concretely define that. No, but you guys are right. The reason to not interact is because you'll end up donating it to like the fucking Shiloh lady. You're right. He's a freak who will harass you for actual years. Okay, but it doesn't count as harassment. It literally doesn't count as harassment if it's pathetic and it doesn't actually impact you. It just doesn't. Don't you tell your chat not to interact with these people? Wait. Someone interacting with me and me responding to them is very different from sending my audience to other people. These are very different things. No way, quarter plus 5K to spare. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Oh my God. It's driving me crazy. But it's also brought up, I think now I've gotten Myron Gaines, I've gotten the quartering, I've gotten Danny Masterson.
This is impressive.
And I've gotten one person that got really mad at me. Was it one of the Andrew Tate brothers? Maybe it was one of
Denims.
I don't remember. Oh, and then Grums. Well, Grums was like, I did go in on him and make fun of him a lot.
It's impossible for someone Dennis doesn't respect to bully her.
Mm-hmm.
She could probably teach the CIA some new torture techniques she was subjected to in childhood.
Oh my God, I want to interact so bad. Oh, wait, we'll do that in a second. Oh my God, I can't believe I get to shit on a business, bro. Oh my God, it's like Christmas. Okay, no, one thing at a time. All right, collecting them like infinity stones. Did you say the Rape Brothers? Yeah, I mean, isn't Andrew Tate and his brother, aren't they literally convicted rapists?
Dennis, your Pokédex of internet losers is coming along nicely, but what are you going to use it for?
And like, it's really funny because like a lot of the responses that these people give are not good. Like I cannot get over Dick Masterson responding to one of my tweets. And I forgot, I think it was like a Trump tweet or something. And I said like, pack it up, boys, it's over. And he responded with like, pack up what? Your tits? And then I think I kind of bodied him so hard he hasn't interacted since then. I said I thought he was always the unfunny one in his podcast, and they didn't respond, and he hasn't responded at all. I said, good to see things never change. It's been a decade and things still haven't changed. Oh. Most recently, Joey Salads responded to me, and I'm going to be honest, I don't even know who Joey Salads is. I just know he's very disliked on the internet, and when he responded,
you're not old enough to know Joe. Fucking salads.
People were like saying
the salad man.
He drank his own piss or something. Like I can't scroll through because then they started linking.
Joey is it Joey Salads? Did I miss that?
I don't even want to show it because I don't want to. These are some of the replies. Just a money grab, and it's just being held accountable for a crime. Dude, piss drinker, like your entire existence. You're a pathetic dick rider. You fell off, dude. You drank your own piss. I used to love your old pranks. Why am I finding this out? Aren't you a little pee boy, Joseph? Piss drinker, get lost. Piss boy. How's that piss taste? Bitch. It's every reply. So I responded saying, because I don't know anything about this guy genuinely. Why is everyone saying you drank your own piss for content in my mentions? Do you think he's going to respond to me? I sure hope he does. He did race baiting pranks years ago, and I think he also ran for office. I saw a lot of people posting images, and I don't know if they're doctored of like him at a rally or something, and he has like a swastika on his arm or something. It was very weird. It was very, very weird, and made me really concerned. It wasn't just a real image. No, it was real, and then he claimed it was a social experiment to see if Trump supporters were actual Nazis. Ah! Oh my God. Guys, also, I I'm getting word. I'm hearing this for the first time. We just hit 30K. Holy fucking shit, dude. I guess that's what happens when you're Ethan Klein and a bunch of people get mad at you. So before we get into the details of the suit, I want to continue a little bit about a lot of the not lawyers on the internet pretending to be lawyers and the really brutal shows of intellect I've seen.
Holy shit, my son has entered its terrible twos.
24 months. Okay, but before we go any further, did you guys see this fucking tweet? You don't have to be a lawyer to recognize a scam. Okay, mods, you don't have to time people out and ban them so quickly. Just, it's okay. I want to interact with you a little bit first. Did you read the 3 pages? Did you read them? Or are you the type of person who reads no, I only read headlines. Yes, I think I'm right. And that tells everybody else what they need to know. I know I unbanned them too. I can't read. I'm a Denims follower. God, dude, you're as bad as Ethan Klein, dude. Just might as well get a sign that says this is a joke. Oh, dude. Oh. So you didn't read it. Got it. Okay. You didn't read it. Too lazy to read? It's pathetic. Okay, moving on. This, I think, was the most brutal thing I saw. This screenshot Denim used is Ethan in the middle of a tick. I kept thinking in my head it had to be a sniffing tick, so I went around and found the frame, and it's exactly what I thought from the episode of my War Against Snark H3 show around 139-36. They keep using his Tourette's against it, and it's so gross. This was him talking about
Reach!
thumbnail before. I don't...
Just reach. Keep reaching, weirdos. Keep reaching, fuckos.
Use this image? Using an image of someone is anti-Semitic, I guess. I don't know, man. I just work here. This one, like, that's what I mean, chat, when I say that, like, the internet has exposed.
God. Ethan Klein is single-handedly annihilating the meaning of the word anti-Semitism. He is doing more damage to the Jewish religion than I won't say the worst, but in America, you put more Jewish people in America in danger than probably anyone online.
That a photo of your guy, just me using a photo of your guy, is anti-Semitic? Oh, I think that says a lot more about the guy claiming anti-Semitism. Well, they eventually apparently deleted their post. And the first time I saw that post, I didn't see it next to the stereotypical image, the anti-Semitic image. So I didn't even understand what they were referring to. They were like, it's literally a hate symbol. And I was like, wait, what part of my GoFundMe is a hate symbol? Were there certain letters or numbers that I used? Wait, what? And I didn't even realize they were talking about a screenshot of his face. Okay. The reaching right now is pretty insane. It's pretty crazy. It's a hate symbol because I hate it. Obviously. Okay.
It's a hate symbol because I hate it.
All right. Moving on. Let's get into the meat, shall we? I'm keeping this on the screen. Piss boy Joey salads. People also have been making, oh wait, I forgot. Oh wait. There's one more really big one. I don't know how I forgot. Sorry, so irrelevant that I literally forgot. This literally made my day. Oh God. Oh my God. What I'm about to do feels wrong. Like I feel like
actions have consequences at its finest. Joy, howdy, chat, howdy, dranims.
Okay, you'll never guess who came out of the woodworks on this. What's that one meme? The like, you ruined my life. I don't even know who you are. Every time this guy has come out of the woodwork, I have to remember who he is, and then I remember, and then I start laughing my ass off.
Spider-Man. Damn.
Who's your favorite superhero?
Spider-Man.
What if he was like half bald? My lady.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. Oh wow. Oh no, cry. Are you a dad? He has a hat that says Dada.
Yes, I am a father. I have one kid, and she gets whatever she wants.
Me too. Shut up.
That's right.
We have the same.
We're both poor. This is the cheapest one I could get. Do you work?
No, I'm a stay-at-home mom.
I'm a stay-at-home father.
Where's your baby mama?
She's also sleeping.
She's sleeping.
Yep. Here to cheat.
My man is sleeping downstairs. He works tomorrow.
Well, tell your husband that you ran into the GOAT, the greatest of all time. He'll know who you're talking about. You ran into
Wait, dead ass? Are you
goat.
like somebody I should know?
People have compared me to Will Smith.
I see it.
No, not physically speaking, just achievement-wise.
So why don't you cut the back of your head?
Aura.
Aura?
Yeah, I have hella aura.
Yeah, I see it. It's green and yellow and white.
And purple for royalty.
Purple for royalty. Sorry. Spider-Man.
Who's your favorite superhero?
Spider-Man.
What if he was like half bald? My lady.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. Oh wow. Oh no, cry. Are you a dad? He has a hat that says Dada.
Yes, I am a father. I have one kid and she gets whatever she wants.
Me too. Shut up.
That's right.
We have the same.
We're both poor. This is the cheapest one I could get. Do you work?
No, I'm a stay-at-home mom.
I'm a stay-at-home father.
Where's your baby mama?
She's also sleeping.
She's sleeping.
Yep, here to cheat.
My man is sleeping downstairs. He works tomorrow.
Well, tell your husband that you ran into the GOAT, the greatest of all time. He'll know who you're talking about. You ran into
Wait, dead ass? Are you
goat.
like somebody I should know?
People have compared me to Will Smith.
I see it.
No, not physically speaking, just achievement-wise.
So why don't you cut the back of your head?
Aura.
Aura?
Yeah, I have hella aura.
Yeah, I see it. It's green and yellow and white.
And purple for royalty.
Purple for royalty. Sorry. Spider-Man.
Who's your favorite superhero?
Spider-Man.
What if he was like half bald? My lady.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. Oh wow. Oh no, cry. Are you a dad? He has a hat that says Dada.
Yes, I am a father. I have one kid and she gets whatever she wants.
Me too.
Things are now absolutely terrible for the disrespectful IRL streamer who's now stuck in South Korea because he just got hit with another deepfake charge, which adds an additional 10.5 years of potential prison time in South Korea, which means the grand total of prison time that he's currently facing is 31 years in a South Korean prison. And he just admitted all the attention he's currently getting isn't even worth it anymore.
In the long run, do you think that it is worth it?
At this point, no. I mean, come on. Congratulations, you played yourself. Overall, harassing strangers in public should never be incentivized in general, but massive skill issue because you simply picked the worst countries to do it. Maybe not the worst, but definitely terrible countries to be doing this streaming in, because let's be real, if he was doing this in the US, most likely he would be out on bail and he would only get a slap on the wrist for any trials that he actually went to. And I guess for some reason, this absolute moron still operates like he's in the US. How you doing? Good, how about you? Good, can't complain. Currently recording this video in a business center in a Weston in Boston because I'm currently traveling, but news happened, so here we are. But I mean, hey, I'm only stuck in a Weston business center temporarily. Johnny is stuck in South Korea for the foreseeable future. Because I mean, right after the trial I watched, he was playing it cool. He was like, oh, nothing's really gonna happen to me. Nothing ever happens. I'll be out in no time. A couple months later, he's lost a lawyer, he's still stuck there, and new charges are dropping pretty much monthly at this point. I don't know if he's gonna get let off the hook as quickly as he thought. So it now seems like reality is really starting to set in with this guy, as his only friend and financial supporter is starting to get extremely fed up with him as he's getting more and more charges. But at this point, most people know the story. Absolute moron, goes to Japan, gets in a whole bunch of trouble there, ends up doing about 3 months of jail in Japan, absolutely does not learn his lesson, goes to Israel, gets detained a bunch, gets a bunch of threats, ends up doing something that gets him permanently banned on his only platform that he actually makes good money from, which is Kick, and then he ends up fleeing Israel while still permanently banned from Kick. What does he do? Absolutely still does not learn his lesson. He then goes to South Korea, rinse and repeat, does the same thing all over again. Now, facing 31 years in prison because clearly he has still not learned his lesson. And nobody feels bad for him whatsoever because he has not learned his lesson whatsoever. He's just been given way too many chances to, pack things up and pivot the way he's making content. But instead, he just continues to double down. Even after admitting the attention is not worth it, he still wants the attention. And a lot of people have been asking me, hey, why isn't he currently arrested in South Korea? Well, South Korea apparently operates very differently, especially when it comes to foreigners. Apparently, they don't want to spend the taxpayers' money on taking care of Johnny. They want to put that burden to provide for himself on Johnny. So now, Johnny essentially is homeless, except for Hank. He is now a burden to Hank and Hank's family because I guess Hank thinks it's a good idea to continue to pay for him. Because Hank, for some reason, thinks that's the right thing to do, even though, as you'll see, it's destroying his life as well. Johnny is a sinking ship and he's dragging everyone he can down with him. Because Johnny is stuck in Korea for the foreseeable future. He cannot leave Korea until all of his court cases are done, all of his time is served, and all of his fines are paid. Then he can finally leave. So until recently, he's had 5 charges that stuck and then 1 that got dismissed. 2 of them are misdemeanors, 2 of them are obstruction of business felonies, which hold a maximum of 5 years each in prison. Then you have 1 deepfake charge, which has a maximum of 10.5 years in prison. And just now, they added another deepfake charge, which adds another 10.5 years of potential prison time in South Korea. So he's now facing a maximum of 31 years in prison. And I guess after all this, he's slowly starting to realize that he's ruined his life.
I talked to my mom this week and she was like, really just like, you need to stop drinking. Like, it's ruining your life. You're 24, you know what I mean? You don't need to be drinking and doing this crazy because, you know what I mean? Like, alcohol is definitely the reason why I've done so many great. And it's, do not back down, never give up. It's not backing down, never giving up. It's about just bettering yourself as a person. I think I'd truly be a better person if I didn't drink alcohol. I feel like it doesn't bring anything better. It doesn't bring anything positive to my life. You know what I mean? I can make good content without drinking alcohol, like, easily.
When Johnny is sober, he actually has some fairly reasonable takes. But that didn't really last for too long because according to 15 Minutes of Shame, 1 single hour later, he was already drunk streaming.
Come party with us.
It's a quiet hour, Zell.
Okay, you like Diddy?
Yeah, I like Diddy.
You like this song?
Wait. Outside, I couldn't hear either.
Then come here and sit with us.
Dude, you bought another one?
No, it's the same one we had.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You finished the last one.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I'm lying to you. It isn't one. All right, come hang. Don't the mic. Can you dance with Diddy with me one time?
Well, why are you like drinking so much, man? Come on.
Listen to Diddy with me, please.
All right.
I mean, Hank here is just acting like a disappointed father, and this is Johnny's only lifeline in Korea. Why would he be actively trying to burn this bridge? I guess he just can't help himself. But the reason I say this is in an interview, they actually admitted that Johnny has ran out of money, and Hank is his only lifeline, even though Johnny will still go on and on about saying, oh, I actually have money, and I'm not broke.
Legal mindset and these channels, they spread like fake narratives that like I'm penniless and things like this. It's not true, but that I'm destitute and this stuff for me. I've been living an okay life here. You know what I mean? I stay with Hank, so I don't really have expenses for living.
But here's the reality of the situation.
I have sacrificed my finances. You know, like I've actually, like Johnny ran out of money because they refused Johnny to work. So I've been actually providing for him.
He's been helping me a lot. He's been helping me with not only like legal fees and stuff like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's helped me pay for a lawyer and stuff like that. And he's a great friend. Like, honestly, I respect him for that. And when I get out of here, a lot of it I do owe to Hank. He's a real man.
Yeah. So, and not to mention that I sacrificed my time and space here. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that all he says is he respects Hank for that, dude, if it wasn't for Hank, from what we're hearing, he would be homeless. So, I mean, the least he could be is a little more grateful to Hank because apparently he was starving before Hank took him in.
And I actually fed him back to health, too. He was very unhealthy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm very skinny. Hank claims when I was living on my own in Korea, I was very skinny and gaunt, you know, because maybe my diet was not good, but Hank is definitely, people now on the internet are saying I have, like, a gut and man boobs now because Hank has been feeding. I've been on the Hank diet, and Hank has been feeding me so well.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro. Thank you for not letting me starve. Bro fist for that one. But apparently things are so bad that Hank, he's being supported by his family. And his family is threatening to cut that off because he keeps on funneling that money back to Johnny.
I risk my family not paying my tuition to help Johnny because I believe that helping Johnny was right thing to do. Pretty much.
His mom hates you. Your mom hates you, right?
Yeah. My mom hates you. My grandparents hate you.
And you said, despite all that, he's my friend, and wrong is being done to him, and I'm gonna make sure that he gets out of Korea safely.
Yeah.
This is a real one.
I mean, bro.
Why would you ever destroy your own life and ruin your standing with your own family over this? Is clearly someone who's only using him because he has no options left.
As stoked as I am, let's see what you want.
Hank from allegedly pulling some
Sick, show the prize.
A new attorney, but apparently this attorney is.
You could get everyone baked with this brand new ceramic cookware set. There you go. Oh shit.
A public defender that was originally covering his eastern
Load
district,
another
sorry,
bowl
his,
for your
western
furry
district
homies
case,
with this
and a
tungsten
private lawyer,
carbide
which is on
dog
the
bowl.
east, which is now registered in the west.
You won.
So we're
Hope
gonna
it's
talk
dope.
about this lawyer. So we have we actually
It's a new
predicted
car,
who this
perfect
lawyer
for
was.
smoking out the whole
we had a
neighborhood.
leak. Ramsey gave a leak.
Yo,
who
oh
this lawyer
shit.
was. We now know officially the lawyer is
Say goodbye to paranoia
Choi
and
Guangho,
lock yourself
or
in the
Guangho
hot
Choi.
box
Choi's
with
his name.
introducing the Blaze of Glory Ultimate
is
Prize
the,
Package.
the
You
lawyer
and
that
3
has
friends
been
are going on all expenses paid
tax
adventure
attorney.
to Stoner
He is a
Lagoon,
tax
which
attorney.
even I think is on the nose.
Inside
No
a
need to pack a
criminal
lighter.
courtroom
We got
in
you covered.
20 years. Let me say that one more time. He has not been inside a criminal courtroom in 20 years. He is a tax attorney. So what probably happened, and this is something that we said, was this is probably a friend of Hanky Poo's family who got put on this case.
And apparently his entire legal strategy for the deepfake charge has been a complete flop.
His whole big legal talk, his whole big legal strategy was, we're going to settle with Bong Bong. We're going to settle with the female victim. We're going to pressure her. And they wanted to threaten her because she showed the image on her stream as well. But she showed it to show how mad she was about it, being like, this is wrong, right? So he tried to blackmail the victim. And not only did that fail, it literally backfired in his face. When he tried to blackmail the female victim, the prosecutor probably saw this and said, oh, hell no, we're going to double down and give you another one. And by the way, there will be no settlement on that one because it's with the Korean YouTubers that you are literally attacking and threatening with defamation. Remember, guys, Hank and Johnny have been threatening to sue the Korean YouTubers and myself, by the way, threatening to sue me with defamation in Korea. Do you think that people that you threatened to sue, and you are suing, you literally said you're suing them, you were threatening Dalgoon, you're threatening other people, do you think they're going to come to some settlement with you? By the way, that doesn't even really work in Korean court. Even if they were to say, oh yeah, we agree, they still, the prosecutor could still bring it.
I mean, the issue with Johnny is most of what he says is hot air. Unfortunately for him, the judge and prosecutor might not know that because he's made a bunch of threats and he's said a lot of stupid stuff. So it's safe to say this backfires tremendously on this guy. Because let's be real, all he had to do after he got caught, even after making all the mistakes in Japan and all the mistakes in Israel, and I guess all the mistakes in Korea, once they charged
Hard point.
all he had to do was shut up.
Go time. Capture the objective.
Be respectful. And he probably would have gotten left on victims, the people covering it, and that's leniency for the judge.
Hard point locked
Maybe.
down.
The higher I get, the better I shoot.
At the hard point.
Enemy blast.
Hard point is secure.
Tactical incoming. Ow! Are you trying to shoot me? Oh, I see you.
Hard point identified.
Hey, incoming lethal!
Hard point active.
Years, or at least 5
Hostiles have the hard point. Sniper's toast.
Hey, he hired some big league attorney. The money he has. It's not worth it anymore. He's banned them from actually make decent money out of it. We learned that from
Hardpoint locked down.
I think that is worth it.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
So now, Johnny is...
Yeah, watch it! Hardpoint located. Hardpoint is active. Hardpoint is secure. Using field upgrade.
Microphone that everyone says looks kind of sus, but hey, it's a whole lot better than Thanks, dude, for now. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe to YouTube. Thanks, you'll enjoy this video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint is secure. Hardpoint identified. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Using lethal. Hardpoint active. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Incoming.
Subjects out. Moving with Archangel.
Hostile Molotov.
This is my dinner table.
Addiction to food. From an early age,
Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint located.
the slightest bit of stress or discomfort. Having to wear plus-size clothing as a child, Penny continues to gain 20 to 30 pounds a year throughout school. Eventually,
Hardpoint is active. Hardpoint is secure. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down.
Penny has followed the same path to Penny.
Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint identified.
Calling in Score Street.
Hardpoint is secure. Hardpoint active. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Paycheck to paycheck. Arguably the most frustrating situation. Confined to the floor.
Hardpoint located.
Your fucking excuse.
RCX deactivating.
Outstretched arms.
Hardpoint is active. Hardpoint locked down.
Tactics becoming more and more advanced. It's difficult to understand
captured the hard point. Hostile LCR drop detected. Hardpoint is secure. Hardpoint identified. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Incoming lethal!
Hardpoint active. Hardpoint locked down.
Upgrade.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint located. Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint is active. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure.
Ordering a select. It seems like the weight loss won't start until.
Hey, incoming lethal!
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down.
Hey, incoming lethal!
Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint identified.
Penny's oxygen levels are healthy, but she explains that.
Hardpoint is secure. Hardpoint locked down.
That he believes that Penny is instead using the oxygen to preserve her victim. Penny's program begins by the book of what to show hopefully qualify for the weight loss. To drop the 25 to 50 pounds even. After just a month of
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
not only is it also important for exercise,
Hardpoint located. Hardpoint is active. Hardpoint is secure. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Furnished apartment, counting down the days when Penny
MTC's in the red. It's now or never.
Hey, incoming lethal!
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint active. Hardpoint locked down.
Using lethal.
Hostiles captured the hardpoint. Watchdog helo incoming on your location. Hardpoint is secure.
Way too close to this right now.
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Hostile
Hardpoint. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint is active. Hardpoint is secure. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Net call. Watchdog Kilo inbound.
Operator establishing score stream. Sighting in
Hardpoint is secure.
Hostile score stream spotted.
Hardpoint identified.
Using lethal.
Echo, flying on cue. UAV returning to tank.
Hardpoint active. Hardpoint locked down.
Having a positive mental attitude is not
Oh, I see you.
as a patient.
Hey, incoming lethal!
Be fully committed.
Hey, incoming lethal!
You fucking me? Activate cashback protocol. Get your asses back to base.
When we see her husband and son patiently waiting her return, uprooting halfway across the country for her, while she doesn't even try. Penny's motivations come into question.
Heads down, sniper work.
Commitment to her family in ways not considering how she will feel when she is hauled off the back of an ambulance. A sharp resemblance of her former self, just a mere 10 pounds lighter than her arrival weight several months prior. Once she got comfortable at home, Dr. Now arranged a physical therapist to visit Penny to go over them. The therapist engaged in several physical exercises with Penny, all proven too difficult for her to complete. She even winces at something as easy as wiggling her toes.
Let's get started. Let's just kind of warm everything up. Let's do some of your ankle pumps.
Physically, I'm just not able to get up. I just can't do it. I just know my limitations.
Just see if you can push down to my hand. You can get that heel up. Even just take pressure off my hand.
I just did. It could be a very long time before I am able to walk.
What about sideline?
Laying on my side, my oxygen gets wonky really fast.
Penny's immediate reaction to any physical demands are, I just can't do that, or it's just too difficult for me. Her attitude confirms her family's worst fears, that Penny isn't even trying. It's clear that Penny actually enjoys telling people that she can't do things because she's too disabled to do so, despite that not being the case. It's frightening to remember that behind this is Penny's young son, Liam, who is growing well aware his own mother isn't even trying for him. Although Penny was given a strict high-protein, low-carb diet to follow at home, she has started going back into her old eating habits. From the comfort of her bed, Penny makes dozens of wontons, bragging that she wouldn't have any trouble eating them all herself.
I cannot function without wontons. They're not the best thing for me. Ducting is out and it's going to be like, why is she eating that? But I can eat all of this by myself.
Edgar seems distraught watching Penny do this, as she's actively working towards destroying all of the progress made with her initial weight loss at the hospital and her surgery. Things only get worse, as after 2 months at home, Penny has missed every single scheduled checkup with Dr. Now. Concerned for her health, Dr. Now sends an ambulance crew to transport Penny to the hospital for a weigh-in to see how how she's really progressing at home. Penny is in complete denial, looking forward to her weigh-in as she believes she's lost over 340 pounds, which would make her 190 pounds, a little bit higher than the weight of an average woman. She even boasted her new loose skin, which looks surprisingly a lot like fat. But the scales don't lie, and Penny weighs in at 495 pounds, only 35 pounds lighter than her initial weight at the start of her treatment a year ago.
I just need to hold on to the front.
You haven't lost any weight. You gained weight since the surgery. Okay? You should be right now walking. You should be around 250 pounds.
Dr. Now has a stern word with Penny, claiming that if she doesn't change her ways soon, he will be signing her death certificate. In a wave of newfound motivation, Penny restarts her diet at home and continues working with the physical therapist with the goal of attending Liam's graduation in 2 months. As that requires walking, Penny practices standing and small exercises from her bed. After 4 months of therapy, however, Penny still can't walk and therefore didn't attend Liam's graduation. As the months roll by, Penny's fast food intake increases and she begins missing appointments yet again. Dr. Now grows concerned that Penny is not sticking to her diet, so he sends a nutritionist to meet with her. When meeting with the nutritionist, Penny is immediately combative and deflects any questions that make her accountable for her own actions.
And so what I want to do first is get a little history. What was your motivation for seeking out surgery?
I'm sorry, and you can take this route if you want, but I find that to be an asinine question.
Okay.
So like the motivation is obviously to lose weight and regain what it's to get back whatever you haven't had because of it.
When asked why she sought out the weight loss program in the first place, Penny remarks at how stupid a question that is, claiming that it's obviously to lose weight, completely missing the point behind the question. Moving to the kitchen to inspect the food the family are eating, the nutritionist highlights the amount of sugary, processed foods they have, notably all the snacks for young Liam. Instead of listening to her advice, Penny rejects it completely, even telling Liam that she knows what's best for him and not to listen to the nutritionist.
My son, he's not a candy eater, a cookie eater. He's got like set things that I am a cookie. He gets a bedtime snack and 1 snack a day.
So we have some cereals here.
They're in there trying to make them throw away your cereal. Mommy said not till you're 18.
Edgar, on the other hand, is receptive to the nutritionist, asking further questions and even for her recommendations on what to eat. The appointment was a disaster for Penny, as it highlighted just how much she is willing to argue instead of just taking accountability. Edgar seems to be the one fighting for a better life for his son Liam, so he doesn't turn to food as a coping mechanism just like his mother had done. After missing several more appointments, Dr. Now again has transferred Penny via ambulance to the hospital for an emergency evaluation. At her weigh-in, she remains 495 pounds on the dot, exactly the same as she weighed months prior. She's lost no weight at all. Penny has an emotional reaction, but Dr. Now isn't having any of it.
That's what I need. That's all they're doing when I'm doing therapy. Ow.
417.
I'm supposed to retire. My knees hurt. Ooh,
Honey, you want us to help you get back into bed now?
Penny, hey, really, I try everything. I don't know how I'm going to get across to you.
It's a shocking revelation when Dr. Now explains that his other patients, who he operated on at the same time as Penny, have now all dropped to below 250 pounds. There's no one else to blame here but Penny, except she believes she's still a victim. Penny blames Dr. Now for not supporting her enough. She blames the hospital diet, the bypass surgery, even the scale, everyone and everything but herself. Dr. Now states if she'd applied to herself, she'd have as good a chance as anyone to lose the weight.
Like I've just been sucker punched again. Why didn't this do what it's supposed to do? What I'm doing, what I'm supposed to do? Where's my yellow brick road? Why didn't I get it? Because I'm working hard, Dr. Nizad, and I'm being good.
Penny has to want to lose weight, and she has to want to be able to walk. If she apply herself, she has good chances as anybody else. But I don't see any willingness to want to get well.
I don't have it in me to go any further.
Penny claims that she doesn't have anything left in her to keep pushing, that she's burned out. It's impossible to understand how she's come to this conclusion when literally all she's done is lie in bed and eat food. A week later, Penny and Edgar decide to move back to Maryland, where Penny believes that she will be more successful with her weight loss journey, surrounded by her family. But I think you can see what's about to happen. The episode concludes with Penny eating dinner in bed, platefuls of food mounted below her. Dr. Now firmly believes that Penny won't change because she's comfortable right where she is. Penny had every chance to turn her life around. Her family supported her, strangers donated to her cause. Her husband and son moved across the country halfway through their lives to support her. But none of that was enough for Penny, as she remains angry at the world that no one has lost the weight for her. In Penny's Where Are They Now episode, which takes place a few months after the first episode ends, her attitude has remained the exact same. She reflects on the previous year as a complete waste of time, claiming that she is content with her current weight and that the scale is just a number.
I haven't been on a scale. I don't feel the need to be on a scale because it doesn't matter.
It's difficult to comprehend her thinking when she's bound to her bed and unable to look after her son properly. Dr. Now recounts the reason why Penny failed her treatment.
It was because she couldn't manipulate everyone the way she wanted in the hospital.
Penny's delusion is dangerous, as being bedbound due to morbid obesity comes with a life expectancy of only a few months, let alone years. In a surprising twist in her story, Penny takes to couponing to gain a sense of purpose, explaining that saving $500 is the same as earning $500, which contributes to the household. When the camera pans to the kitchen, shelves are filled with cereal and treat boxes beyond measure, the reward of Penny's couponing. She claims she's taken up this hobby to save her family some money, so they can start buying healthier food, which is more expensive. From a glance into the kitchen though, it's pretty clear this isn't the case. Penny's addiction to food has always been about control. It's the main reason why she failed the program and left the hospital. She needs to be in control of what she eats and when she eats it, which is hard to do when she's confined to the four posts of her hospital bed. So instead, Penny uses couponing as a way to control the food that Edgar purchases, claiming that he must buy these certain foods because they're a good deal and it will save them money, all of which is a guise for Penny to get what she wants. While Penny organizes her coupons into neat little files, it's Edgar that has to hunt down the products in several supermarkets, scanning the aisles for these specific brands, as well as hauling the vast amount of coupons to the checkout. He better not forget something either, or he will face the harsh consequences from Penny.
I hate doing this. Couponing. I go to so many different stores. It makes the shopping a little more time-consuming. Before, I could pretty much get what I wanted, so now I got to get what's on the list. She's improved everything. I can't add like I used to.
As the weeks roll by, Penny has some good moments where she eats a healthy meal, or she gets up from her bed and into her wheelchair, but she then spends the day recovering from the effort she's put in. She claims to be happy and implements small changes every now and then to prove to others that she is making progress and getting better. But it's not progress when you go back to what you're doing just before.
I have a really terrible infection that has caused a wound on my right side. It's so very painful. And I mean, I almost feel like I need to hold it in order to stand, but I use a walker. So it's made that situation very difficult. Right now, feeling like I'm in a setback is very difficult because I had made so much ground.
Penny's delusion develops even further, as despite her making no progress whatsoever, she believes she has, and is entirely happy with her situation. As the episode ends, despite what she says, Penny appears to be gaining even more weight and losing even more mobility, as she only gets out of bed once every 2 months. This is a stark comparison between Dr. Now's final observations of Penny, stating that if she doesn't restart her her weight loss program, she'll be very close to death very soon. After fans of My 600-Pound Life called Lacey Buckingham the most manipulative patient ever to feature on the show, I watched her episode and was completely disgusted by what I saw. From forcing her boyfriend to do anything she wanted, filming herself online for horny men to watch, and so much worse, it's easy to see why she's earned the title and is among the most hated stars of the show. Not only though does she have a disgusting attitude towards those around her, her attitude towards weight loss was just as bad. Lacey Buckingham lives in constant pain. There's no part of her body that doesn't hurt, and she never feels clean, which is probably because she has to use wet wipes to bathe herself, because having a shower is so strenuous, she can only manage them twice a week. Growing up, Lacey felt like the unwanted child, jealous of her skinny and popular sister, and ignored by her parents as they favored her younger brother. Lacey felt like she was adopted. She struggled with weight from this young age, but it all started to spiral out of control when she turned 26 and became friends with a group of people involved in feederism. Now, feederism means exactly what you'd imagine. It's a fetish involving the sexual arousal experienced by feeders and feedees, which is Lacey in this case if you didn't realize, and it's related to the act of feeding and gaining weight. Young women are most commonly the feedees, paid large amounts of money by men to eat large amounts of food, and if you look at Lacey's size, she was definitely a big earner. It was easy to find men to pay her, as Lacey was already lacking emotional support in her personal life and was desperate for a connection, even by strangers on the internet who didn't care that they were exploiting her. All Lacey had to do was film herself eating, and the dollars would just roll in. The feeder-feedee dynamic developed beyond the screen for Lacey, as she developed a romantic relationship with 3 men who were solely interested in feeding her. Things are supposed to be different with her current boyfriend Ricky, and Lacey is glad to have found someone who looks after her, but viewers can't be so sure of this. Their relationship is confusing, as after only such a short time of knowing her, Lacey's boyfriend is more than happy to take part in her hygiene routine, cleaning her with wet wipes and even wiping after Lacey's been to the toilet. Now, this might be a controversial take, as many other of the 600-Pound Life stars don't need help doing this, and there's tools invented for this very reason. There's one on Amazon for less than $10, so this begs the question, does Ricky just enjoy doing this for Lacey? And also, shouldn't this be a wake-up call for Lacey when she literally can't wipe herself clean? Ricky plays a part of more than just a boyfriend to Lacey too, as he's her caregiver, cleaner, and personal chef. Some viewers speculate the likelihood of Ricky even liking Lacey, or whether he's just into bigger girls. What are the chances that Ricky is willing to get into a relationship with someone like Lacey if this isn't a fetish for him? Especially considering that Lacey isn't able to dote on him the way that he is for her. Come mealtime, Ricky is more than happy to serve Lacey whatever her hungry heart desires, not considering the health factors in any of the food he makes for her.
So, Lacey asked me to come to the bathroom, and sometimes I do help her wipe herself. It doesn't bother me because I love her a lot, and I really like to keep Lacey happy.
My greatest love in life is food. I absolutely love food. Make sure you put butter in the skillet for the bacon.
That's fine.
Lacey clearly isn't as focused on the relationship as Ricky is.
Bacon doesn't have enough fat on its own. Put some butter in there, motherfucker. Christ, go vegan.
Lacey prefers food over sex with him.
I consider myself a bad food addict. Like it's a IV pump into my arm. And as far as I'm concerned, there's no greater pleasure in this world than eating food. It's a more pleasure button for me than sex.
Food is Lacey's entire world. She puts it before her health, lifestyle, and now even her boyfriend. And it makes you wonder, what else will she choose food over? On a trip to the supermarket, Lacey makes a painful journey through the aisles to be closer to food. We can really see Ricky's feeder-feedee dynamic here at play, as Ricky is happy to give in to Lacey's unhealthy food demands. He even agrees with her when she suggests that a bottle of Hershey's chocolate syrup is good for her. He's incredibly accepting of her physical limitations of her weight too, as he's happy to let Lacey have a moment to rest when walking becomes too much. So Ricky might just be another feeder, so let's unpack that. Ricky's sister Sharon describes him as being a vulnerable, sheltered, and possibly autistic young man. In his past, Sharon has had to intervene in his previous relationships, as other girlfriends have taken advantage
Kill confirmed.
Perhaps he's
Engagement windows
selfish
open.
and
Go, go, go!
unfortunately not able to understand.
Got contact!
Reclaim the advantage, now hold it.
Even ordering him on the road trip to Houston, Sharon drives the couple as neither are able
They've taken the lead.
breakfast of zebra cakes and cheese puffs. An ironic combination considering she's on her way to enroll in Dr. Now's weight loss program. Sharon
Had a really nice breakfast, zebra cakes, and cheese puffs, and coffee, and
She interrogates Lacey, desperate to know how she and Ricky can say they're in love when they've known each other for less than a month. Ricky is vulnerable and gullible, so Sharon is concerned that Lacey is only using him as her personal caretaker because he's too
with his girlfriends. I gotta step in and put him through the ringer to see if I can actually be his
disaster. Emergency.
I need to stop at a drug stop and get there's a gas station up there. Oh, man, I'm in a sec. I have to go to the
She's taking a fart, you know, like anybody does, and while I was in the fart, I think she needs to get
Eyes on enemy!
fast food for the
Despite this grim situation, Ricky's attitude is hilarious.
Sharon, it's just, you know, you take a wet fart, it happens.
If you thought things couldn't get any worse, then you would have guessed wrong. To Lacey, she calls Sharon.
I just need Ricky to bring me a knife.
Fast food coming out
Incoming
of
stun!
take any more of the food and is just rejecting it. Even Ricky seems to think so. Unlike the family of the other stars of the show who enable them, Sharon says exactly what the viewers are thinking. That Lacey lives like this. That she's bringing her Ricky down with her.
I think they like each other a lot. You know, I think they do like each other. But it's not. I think it's she needs somebody and my brother is on Nike just goes and does it because that's what he does.
The journey from Lacey's hometown of
Net call. Enemy watchdog helo inbound.
Using Archangel.
Weight-related health conditions. As Lacey lives so far from Houston, Dr. Now advises Lacey
Hostile ATR in your AO.
Houston to continue the treatment. Surely this should be a wake-up call for Lacey after discovering her weight and health conditions, but time will tell. Dr. Now sees the same Lacey as someone who doesn't really care what
Enemy using trophy!
My biggest concern with Lacey is that she doesn't seem to take responsibility for herself on any level. And if that doesn't change, then she's likely not not going to make my progress to effectively trunk my life in her.
For Lacey, she doesn't have to look after herself. This all falls on a common trope within the series. In any work besides eating the food that's given to them. Responsible for Lacey's weight loss, as he is the person who goes and
kills.
Just like the vast majority of stars of the show, Ricky is subject to Lacey's wishes. Ricky promises to Lacey, despite being together for less than a month. The pair are ecstatic, which is that Lacey is just
They're walking all over you. Have some goddamn pride.
UAV commencing. He takes Dr. Now's advice on board.
Breaking out rocket launcher.
And exercising.
Archangel is hot.
Do my exercises, and I'm thankful
Check.
to do much on my own without his help.
Get back!
Enemy RCXD detected.
How unaware Ricky is, and how he may not even understand.
Priority testing request received. UAV exiting your grid.
Lacey needs
Detected.
as a lover. There doesn't seem to be any give or take between them. They haven't seen Lacey do anything.
Destroying RCX station.
Makes you think, what kind of relationship have they got?
Report to the nearest extraction point. I have to make a call.
Not entirely surprising, considering that she doesn't seem to care at all. In Shaun of Steel's reaction video, he questions whether Lacey even lost any weight at all.
At the hospital the other day, I just went in there to get weighed. I lost 16 pounds.
Dehydrate yourself and lose that. And right now, when you weighed in with him before, your legs were swollen from the car ride, so your legs are significantly less swollen right now. That's probably 50 pounds right there.
If what Shaun says is true, then that would make Lacey's attempt so far a complete failure. If she's had double the amount of time that Dr. Now gave her, she still couldn't lose the 50 pounds. When you're as overweight as Lacey is, dropping a significant amount of weight will come off quickly when eating on such a big deficit, which makes it obvious that she wasn't sticking to the diet. Despite the setback, Lacey still seems determined to lose weight, finalizing their plans to relocate to Houston to continue their treatment. As you'd expect from Lacey's previous road trip with Sharon, a combination of car trouble and exhaustion has set the group to fall behind schedule, sending tempers flaring. Sharon doesn't hold back, screaming at Lacey for her bad decisions and her disgusting attitude.
You're not taking it serious. What happens after that? Have you ever thought about that? We talked about it. Talked about what? I already talked about it. Oh my, what is wrong with you? Sometimes you're just so ugly.
It's hard for Lacey to sit there and take the abuse from Sharon, as she's always used to getting her way. Instead of arguing back and defending herself, Lacey just says no comment and doesn't look back at Sharon, as if she's being interviewed by the police. This doesn't last long, as Lacey and Sharon begin screaming, hurling abuse and insults at each other.
They only gave me one cracker.
They didn't have any chili Fritos.
Put a butter, and they only gave her one cracker.
Hardcore. Another day in paradise, Black Ops. Hostiles have the hard point.
Oh, hey, actually, do you guys know about... Hey, incoming with...
Hardpoint located.
She's actually also missed her.
Tactical incoming!
Hardpoint is
Oh,
secure.
sure. Shoot the funny man.
Hardpoint down. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm a friendly. Hey, incoming rifle! Tactical incoming! Hostile sighted.
Hardpoint identified.
Using lethal.
Hardpoint active. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint located.
And I have to do something.
Hardpoint down.
Lethal.
Hardpoint locked down.
And I've been Washington State.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
The Sharon. Have eyes on him. I'm scared because
Enemy field upgrade. Not good. Push through!
Just so I can get everything straight.
Yes.
We'll go back over there.
Hey, incoming lethal!
Hardpoint is secure. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Enemy care package go.
I could probably turn this thing into a bomb.
Hardpoint identified. Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint active.
Hey!
Hardpoint is secure.
Enemy field upgrade. Not good. I should not smoke before entering heavy combat, but oh well.
Don't cry.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
Using lethal.
His belongings to charity, which is often reserved with some look at Macy's goal was to lose
Hardpoint located. Hardpoint locked down.
first appointment.
Hardpoint is active.
Macy's last
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Texas fell through the big especially as that would require surgery and outside support to personal problems and lose £50 before he will even.
You gonna let a bunch of company assholes beat you? Fight back, damn it!
has no one to help her get
Hardpoint is secure. Hardpoint identified. Hardpoint active. Hardpoint locked down. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Using lethal.
Sending sentinel. Not by strength. I got him.
Mission shit, I'm pulling the plug. On your face.
Look out, I am Seth Rogen, motherfuckers!
Primarily raised by his father. He only saw his mother 3 times during his entire childhood, and she was drunk every single time.
Incoming frag!
Where he was worried that he was going to get enough. This is where everything starts.
As much as I could when I got the chance. And I remember the joy and safety there was in food.
He discovered early on that food could serve as a distraction to his unhappy home life, but we could never have expected it would turn into such a gluttonous habit that ruined everyone around him. Despite his traumatic childhood, he didn't garner much sympathy from fans. Fans of the show commented, "Such is life, but it's not lazy, selfish, and disrespectful to people. No wonder everyone was calling him a freeloader." Other commenters pointed out that they also had traumatic childhoods, but didn't develop an insane eating habit as a result. It's clear that James has no one else to blame except for himself. Skipping ahead slightly to James at 18, weighing in at over 400 pounds. We begin to see his true nature exposed here, as James explains how he met his partner, Lisa. Starting out as neighbors, Lisa had 4 kids with her abusive husband, but Lisa and James soon grew an attachment to each other that led to an affair. They quickly fell in love, with James noting that one of the key factors in his affections for Lisa was that she loved me for who I was. My weight didn't matter. Lisa describes her early relationship with James as active, noting how they often went riding or fishing together, which are probably the most sedentary sports imaginable. Having an affair is pretty bad, but it was about to get even worse for the couple and Lisa's husband. Lisa fell pregnant twice with children who weren't her husband's. James knowingly fathered 2 of Lisa's children, while they both pretended like they were Lisa's husbands and let him raise them. During this time, James suffered a minor ankle injury and needed the fire department to come pick him up and put him to bed, which leads us to the present day. At 550 pounds, life isn't looking good for James. He's completely bedbound and relies on his family for absolutely everything. Most importantly, food. His partner Lisa has become his feeder.
But he's bedridden, so I'm an enabler.
Team deathmatch.
And I carry the food.
Destroy the enemy.
But I don't know how to stop.
Now that James is bedbound, it's difficult to know who's worse. James, who put himself there, or Lisa, who keeps him there. Let's not pretend that James is innocent in this situation. When Lisa brings him a healthy meal, they fight about it. She doesn't make him feel uncomfortable, so she food to keep him happy.
The lead is
James
ours.
also threatens Lisa when she doesn't feed him enough. One fan points out, if this was my husband, I would only feed him healthy food. He's not
You're falling behind, Crimson.
his next meal. It's called tough love. And if you think James couldn't get any worse, you'd be wrong. He drafts Bailey into the trenches of his bed sheets. He goes around to school to support Lisa in becoming his full. James is so overweight he can no longer walk to the bathroom, and he has to soil himself in his own. In one of the most shocking scenes of the whole episode, James calls Lisa and Bailey, telling them he's been to the bathroom.
We've taken the lead. Stay on target.
Depend on his daughter for everything, including cleaning up his own feces. One commenter writes, F everything else. The fact that they pulled their daughter out of school to become a full-time assistant caretaker is absolutely disgusting, shaking my head. It's unimaginable to think that James puts himself before the needs of his own daughter, taking education.
Stars reclaim the lead.
Heartbroken that James cannot not live the life he used to be as he's bedbound, but fails to mention the difficult life it must be for Bailey, who acts as her assistant caretaker in all aspects of his life. In what is his last chance to save his life, James try and make a change. They are immediately hit with the Lisa is the enabler. She making the excuse that she
The lead is
realize
ours.
how many calories are in the food she's providing. If you haven't already started to hate James yet, you're definitely about to. As the trip to Houston and the treatment is so expensive, James and Lisa set up a GoFundMe to raise the funds. As you can imagine, people didn't exactly want to donate to someone as greedy and overindulgent as James, who'd gotten himself to over £600 by sheer gluttony. In need of immediate funds for his life-saving trip, James's dad financed his home to pay for the as a last resort. Unfortunately, was the easy part, but now they have to figure out how they're going to transport a They initially tried to put James in the back of a van, but as he's over 1 meter wide in the width of the van, he won't fit. They eventually
Taking fire! Move!
An extra large hospital bed using ratchet straps to hold the fat spread across his body. It takes over 8 men to carry him from the house, and despite
Enemy deleted!
he shows no gratitude for their efforts. He moans and complains the entire time, screeching every time the van goes over a bump. It's been a long ride for James when he arrives at the hospital.
Blast trap going down.
Save his life. It's clear that James was expecting a war, but Dr. Now has other methods. He quickly shuts down James's excuses and becomes a refreshing voice of reason for the viewer, who has undeniably been frustrated throughout the duration of the episode so far.
If they don't bring you food, what are you going to do to her? Scream? Yell?
You yell at you with her?
That's all.
Well, I get mad.
What are you coming to Houston for? We don't have a miracle for you. I talked to you, I talked to her, and what I see here, this is not a weight loss.
I just talked to you for the first time. I think, 4 months ago?
4 months is enough to lose 100 pounds. To get under 600 pounds.
Really?
Yes.
Dr. Now also confronts Lisa.
I've been trying to get him out of that bed.
No, you're not. If you did last time I talked to you, change his diet. It doesn't look like he lost any weight. Is this a lifestyle of a human being? This is a miserable lifestyle.
Dr. Now tries to convey the gravity of James's situation to Lisa, explaining that he hasn't got much time left as a direct result of Lisa's actions. After a tough initial meeting with Dr. Now, James is placed on a strict diet in the hospital in order to prepare for the weight loss surgery. James is put on an 800 calorie a day diet in an attempt to lose 180 pounds in 1 month. James does initially see success in the weight loss inside the hospital, and so Dr. Now allows him to move into an apartment nearby to continue the treatment at home, away from his watchful eye. As you'd expect, things don't exactly go to plan. James claims that he's only cheated a couple of times, a couple too many when you catch up with James almost instantly as he's rushed to determined that James was experiencing heart failure. At this point, he's so obese that the doctors need to
Sir!
because his body's so big,
They've taken the lead.
After being treated for heart failure, he's sent home again to continue his diet plan. It's
There's a
now
mole
been 2
among us.
months since
Find
he's seen
them.
Dr. Now, and he was supposed to have lost over 100 pounds. It's clear that things haven't been going well. After Lisa's car is towed, they've been unable to make trips to the supermarket and are having to rely on takeout food.
Got it.
That's a pretty ridiculous excuse, considering they could have just walked to the supermarket instead. It's especially ironic considering the pair claimed they were too broke to repair the car, which is only 1 flat tire, yet they're eating takeout food every single night.
We're
It's
winning.
got to be at least $25 when you're ordering what they're ordering.
But ever since I've had my heart failure, all that stress and stuff has been making it hard for me to resist my cravings. The biggest setback has been losing the use of our car. Lisa was driving down the freeway and her tire started to come off, and we can't afford to pay for a cab, so we have to order out a lot right now.
When Lisa decides to make fish for dinner one night, James exclaims he doesn't want to eat that shit anymore. I'm tired of the same stuff. He shouts over at Lisa, order me a Chinese, and she shows little challenge.
Egg rolls and rice, fried rice.
I don't don't know about the rice, though.
That's what I want, though.
But rice is on that paper that we're not supposed to have.
It's fried.
It's still rice. Fried is
Well,
worse.
that's what I want. I'm tired of fish and chicken, Lisa. I'm sick of it.
I'll get my phone and see if we can get it delivered.
Soon enough, a Chinese takeout turns up at the door and straight down James's throat and his sheets. As the viewer, it's frustrating to watch Lisa continuously give in to James. She could have easily denied his request and made him a proper meal, and if he didn't eat it, he would have been better off anyway. One commentator points this out perfectly. James would hate me because once he started hollering about the food he wants, I'd be like, get up and go and get it, and walk out of the room. The daughter is the only one I have sympathy for. Those other two can kick rocks. Dr. Now shares this view when he comes round to check on James, where he immediately notices that James hasn't lost any weight at all. The pair come up with so many excuses, but none place the responsibility on either of them. Dr. Now orders James to return to the hospital to continue his treatment.
I don't think the doctor's being fair, and I don't know why he thinks I look bigger. But he's wrong because I feel better, and I know I'm smaller than when I started doing this. So hopefully when I get into the hospital and get my weight, I can prove it to him there.
It's James's first day back in hospital, and he is weighed straight away. 840 pounds shows up on the scale. The hospital room erupts in conflict between Dr. Now and the pair. James complains that he hasn't had any support, that he didn't have a good nutritionist, and claims that there's something else at play here that could explain his exponential weight gain.
You know that I'm just now getting resources that I've been needing.
We're talking about your food. We're not talking anything
All
else.
of it. I've needed all of it, though, to start with. I haven't had home health. I've had nothing.
Are you telling me that to start?
Initially, Dr. Now set him on an 800 calorie a day diet. It's clear that because of his rapid weight gain in such a short amount of time, James has got to have been eating 10,000 calories a day, 13 times what he should have been eating. Dr. Now then pins the blame on Lisa. Why won't you stop overfeeding him?
Why won't you stop overfeeding him?
I don't know what the issue is. I know, like I said, that he has cheated some, but I will not bring him nothing else.
Is not some. Is every day and every hour and every meal.
She pleads with Dr. Now not to give up on him, and he agrees to give him one more chance, allowing him an additional hospital stay on an 800 calorie a day diet. But a month later, he's lost no weight and is up to 844 pounds. Dr. Now gives James an ultimatum: lose 100 pounds in 2 months on his own, or he's completely done with him. 2 months later, James is back in hospital. Dr. Now weighs him up, and the figure shows he hasn't lost any weight. As promised, Dr. Now refuses any further treatment and discharges him. If James ever wants to be considered for treatment again, he must weigh under 600 pounds. He's had every chance and opportunity to lose weight, and he hasn't even tried. The amount of resources that James has taken advantage of to help him have all been for nothing. James has failed, but he firmly believes it's due to no fault of his own. To make matters worse, Dr. Now predicts that James only has the rest of the year to live.
You're still not losing weight and you're gaining again.
I understand he had some ups and downs, but he's been really trying now, doctor.
I don't know what else we can do for you. I think the best thing for you is to go back to Kentucky. I don't want to hear any more excuses. I'm done. If you want to be considered at all ever again, when you show up, you need to be under 600 pounds. Okay? Goodbye.
Dr. Now must be the most patient man in history. As we find out from the follow-up episode featuring James, Where Are They Now?, he has been remitted to hospital following a somewhat successful stunt at weight loss. Again, James is placed on the scales, 770 pounds, 4 pounds down from his last hospital stay.
For the first time since you started this process, you lost weight on your own. And that's the only reason I'm considering allowing you back on the program.
Dr. Now keeps James in the hospital for another month on a 1,200 calorie diet where he loses over 130 pounds. It's incredibly frustrating to watch James lose hundreds of pounds with ease when he's kept in the hospital, just as easy as it is for him to gain it when he stays at home. Following his successful weight loss, Dr. Now agrees to send him home again, but this proves a failure yet again as he comes back to the hospital on weigh-in day and has gained another 50 pounds.
You do your part and he does his part, or I'm through with you. You understand this?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, so I'm sick and tired of wasting my time coming here, bringing all the people working for you, and you do nothing. I'm offering you help, and the problem is that you abuse that help and you're lying about it. And you two keep wasting all the energy and resources given to you.
With nowhere else to turn, Dr. Now calls Adult Protective Services on Lisa. He claims that Lisa is endangering James's life through overfeeding and that he will die within a year if she continues. Lisa clings on to the notion that this is out of her control, even insisting that James's body doesn't burn calories.
She ain't giving me no food.
I couldn't
and
tell you
what I'm eating is what she's bringing me.
Doctor, now I think it has a lot. He does exercise.
Confirmed.
I help him with his
Green light. Go, go, go.
And I'm losing nothing. Something don't add up.
You don't think your weight has to do anything with your eating?
No, I don't.
So what do you think your weight come from? Thin air?
Come on, you're losing this fight.
No, you're the one that you're hurting him, okay?
I'm not hurting him.
Nice. We're pulling ahead.
Lisa's intentions are increasingly more apparent as the episode nears the end. As her earlier statement, if he starts to walk again, he won't need me, rings true. Keep looking after him and keep cashing disability checks. Ironically, taking care of him is leading to his death. In a 5 days without Lisa or leave treatment for good. Dr. Now is trying to show James just how much of a
Can we take a break? When do we get orange slices?
Yeah, watch it. Attack on launch counter UAV.
Free time for
still doesn't lose any weight. Lisa finally admits after conversations that yes.
Yeah, watch it. Counter UAV in the air.
As unfortunate for James, rushed to the hospital for a final time and tragically lost his life due to sepsis alongside a litany of other health complications. Many viewers sharing a controversial view on his. There have been 15 stars of my 600 company for being of the show, and in this mega compilation of my videos, starting fan favorite from season 1, Henry Foots, who died in mysterious circumstances. 47-year-old Henry starred in the first season, quickly won fans over with his affable personality and his commitment to losing weight.
You don't watch it? You don't watch it?
Ron's on the bathroom.
A long trip.
No problem.
Comes at the start of the
Yeah, watch it.
Push
through.
He started the show for a heartwarming.
Watch it!
And low-key, I had like the script down, and I would put Netflix on my phone. I worked really long shifts.
Buyout requesting CUAV tasking.
Really long, but it was fine. Because I would show up exhausted. And
Crimson's in a sleeper. Trust no one.
put it in front of my laptop. The video would be like, hi, so... Car calling about shit. It's still work, and it's still exhausting, and people scream at you, and all this other stuff, and that sucks. I'm not claiming that it's an easy job. I'm not claiming that it's an easy job. It is very... I'm just saying, I personally appreciate it. On like 2 hours of sleep, and I felt fine. And Captain Grenade sided. I think people who run call center jobs, you know how it is tiring to use your voice all day. Because you have probably a much better understanding of it. There's pros and cons. I don't want to get into this fucking debate and get clipped a million times. And people are like, "Yo, so what you're saying is streamers are the most. It's the most service workers have the most difficult job." Okay, obviously, come on. Kids are screaming chicken jockey. That's up there, top 5. Okay. Moving on. All I'm saying. Different pros and cons, and more importantly.
Take control. Okay, this is kind of fun. I can do battle. We got the lead. Now hold it.
In like an office for 5 days. I don't know. The creativity aspect for it, for me, I don't feel like I could do content for 5 days.
Watchdog helo incoming on your location.
Most content creators, they like retire after a decade or 2. Because it's very creative heavy. I mean, even Germans.
Alpha! Battle war's up!
Again, the creative aspect of it is like...
Tally, watch those
Push through! Fighting in on enemy force in your AO.
like the extra going to a Palestinian charity or something. Again, sorry if this is a dumb show. Got that sniper!
That percentage be refunded to everyone. $2 would be refunded back. Anywho, that would be the my opinion.
There's a center!
Ethan Klein and fucking fucking successful, and that they set themselves up.
Yeah, watch it.
To retire from content, but they and like I don't know if we can keep doing this podcast until we're 70. The fact that they set themselves up to the point where
This shit ain't working. We've lost the advantage.
To help other creators sell merch.
Backup's not coming. You want to get out of this alive? Better step up.
Hostile marksman destroyed.
And they threw away Teddy Fresh. Fucking fight this stupid social fight.
Proudly listed.
These guns are so heavy.
However, I found out she loves to.
All operators to your nearest CCP. We just got our ass. That blood? Nobody told me there would be blood.
Criticism of Israel arises.
It's not like Israel.
Sniper eliminated. Move. Crack.
He was in the running.
Decoy spotted.
It's not because she's from Israel.
Hostile blaster.
That we have proof that Israel targets journalists. And she's like, no, I don't think it would work like that. They wouldn't target him. Not that Sean claims that he's a journalist, but functionally, I think the Israeli government views him no different than Al Jazeera, which is you're trying to make Israel look bad.
Or that she served in the IDF. Well, actually that could be a reason for some, it's mostly because of the dehumanizing language she uses for Palestinians and her relentless defense for Israel. Also, I just want to be clear, I don't want to make Hila responsible for Ethan's flip-outs, but you cannot be dismissed as a silent bystander while Ethan spreads false information. And when she does decide to chime in, it's either about
Just donated. Oh, thank you. Classic Bassmaster. Wait. I don't think I've ever seen this. Hila calls her stylist peasants.
My own whole room.
Yeah, that's a classroom.
The steamers and the lights, it's gonna be. And the peasants are here. Oh my god.
I quite like this is something different. Like if we have the fire stuff, then.
It's giving, and the monkeys are dancing for him. When she said that. Oh no, I didn't mean to close that. Dude, H3 fans are so brain rotted. They'll be like, it's a joke. Why is it that like all of your jokes are you punching down?
yeah. Well, actually, that could be a reason for some.
Overdrive!
The dehumanizing language she uses for Palestinians and her relentless defense for Israel. Also, I just want to be clear, I don't want to make Hila responsible for Ethan's flip-outs, but you cannot be dismissed spreads false information.
I probably should not be operating heavy machines.
Defending their takes, took one look at her and assumed that she's an undocumented.
This narrative that it was his mom, it's just unbelievable.
But what about them talking about Hassan going to Gaza?
Was like, I'm thinking of
Like a 5-star suite for me. Security waiting there.
Is the same thing. Like I was.
I'm sorry.
Song just because, but it kind of is the same thing. Like. Thinking about.
Come on, you're losing this fight.
I also wanted to give.
Sorry, guys, I'm not going to this war zone unless they can.
So much to the point that they started fantasizing about.
They managed to keep the hostages alive.
High-value hostage.
If he's actually just worried about the Israeli side, like seriously, they can take him to the tunnels and he'll be safe.
If he entered through Rafah, which is the Egyptian crossing, I think there's probably a more likelihood that he'd be kidnapped by Hamas.
You've fallen behind!
Struck by Israel.
Yeah.
And then pedal it all back.
We're just criticizing you.
Sorry. It's so insane to me, by the way, that anytime they say anything fucked up, it's a joke.
Push through!
All of our ops, they're always serious all the time. I hope you're actually prepared to fight this lawsuit because we all need to do the correct shit. I mean, you're not. Someone in chat posted this. The new narrative, I guess, in the subreddit, in the H3 subreddit. Ethan should retract because that would be Ethan should retract for denims. I'm positive that everything she cites has extended context where they clarify explicitly what they're saying she's responsible for. That being said, I know Ethan is prone to hyperbole and definitely has said a few technically incorrect things about her. Probably the one who listed his complaint.
Nice! We're pulling ahead!
If Ethan reads the complaint on stream and says, no, I don't literally think you called TP, I retract, I don't stand by that. That has never been the real point. That's never been the real point. That's why he said, I'm the villain of this video. And I'm basically endorsing this because it's 100% of my chat.
Damn it, we've lost the lead.
Look like a moron.
We've taken control. Stay alert, Black Ops. We got a mole. This shit ain't working. We've lost the advantage.
I absolutely do. And
Lead dive.
Okay, I'm fine with him retracting.
We got the lead. Now hold.
Fuck you, asshole.
Eyes on enemy.
Holy shit. God damn. Quick tip, Denims, go to the H3 sub, search Denim CPS that you probably already have. Oh, I haven't. I've said it before, but for anyone who missed it, for legal purposes, if you've seen comments that I did CPS, that I caused CPS, that my community caused CPS, whether it's on his subreddit, whether it's on Leftovers subreddit, whether it's on at all,
Right.
please don't interact with those people. Please don't respond to them. You guys know how I feel about tapping the glass. Do not tap the glass. Don't reply to them. But if you would like to, and you see any of these things, screenshot them.
Yeah, watch it!
Record of everybody who was involved and how many people he has effectively, deceived and dislodged. I've said it, and it's also said.
Push through!
If he retracts,
Ow! Are you trying to shoot me? Oh wait, yes you are.
and get on. He knows that I never called CPS and that I was never responsible for it and I didn't condone it. And he gives a full retraction. I will happily yeah, that's a good call. Thank you.
Have you guys tried talking it out instead of the whole fighting and shooting thing?
Hassan, you can go to Gaza, and he should be severely judged.
I mean, it's part of why I judge him. He doesn't know shit about that conflict. He doesn't know shit about it.
No, he doesn't.
He does not. But he talks like with such authority. Oh my god. You would think he's been there like 5 times since October 7th, right?
This small bit of premium content is just a tiny part of a larger pattern. Ila's reasoning is just as inconsistent. Let's try and understand Ila's logic here. The conflict because he hasn't beaten reality. If we were to even go with this logic, then why does she not know about what's going on and Elon Musk's actions despite living in the very country?
Lately, like they're
down like
using
lethal.
Like bombing, they're firebombing their factories.
I don't know if I'm out of the loop, but
RCXD rolling out.
this is happening.
I mean, that's quite an integral part of the ongoing events in the United States and its political landscape. While selling anti-Elon shirts in her own and well, the answer to that is simple. I don't.
Since he admitted to not knowing who did the call during his debate with his
We got a rat. Someone find that fucking traitor.
I have a defamation case because that's a lot of what you say, because he's accusing me of committing a crime, which is on March 11th, you acknowledged Jennings has denounced herself or anyone in her community making contact with CPS. There's a clip of him saying, well, yeah, I know she technically didn't call CPS, but she was being really mean to me. So it's worse than that, actually.
Enemy field upgrade. Not good. Using lethal.
All of their content is referring back to Hassan. I just follow the storyline they confront. But anyway,
Enemy field upgrade.
And then whatever we dare to say about him and
We have the edge, but don't get cocky. This shit ain't over.
we are backing genocide. We're
Push through!
It's like, no, I'm just criticizing. I'm allowed to criticize you. Stuff to happen for Palestine. Like I
for Palestine, the ones I found are in this video.
That's right, you shithead. The CIA's nothing without us.
The higher I get, the better I shoot. Deflecting, dismissing, and downplaying Israel's actions.
It's so complicated.
Yeah.
From their perspective, it's like
people they know are terrorists and they have a history of that.
Tango down.
And the thoughtful criticism looks something like this.
what is this frame, bro? Why are you just like in the corner?
It's absolutely
Frame
terrible.
your shit up, man. We changed his background.
I hate
AB
it.
was
Hey, Hassan, I hate your new background.
frankly. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I think his room looks better with like